Cool. We're live! Greetings, everyone. My name is Sai, and welcome back to the SnO Book Club number 8. I can't believe how many of these you've fucking done now.
We're almost
how
there.
Many hours? How many hours have we cumulatively wasted with this stream?
Do you want me to add them up?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. Let me go look at your channel.
I am joined once again by wonderful SNO boy Isaiah, and also part-time calculator.
Hello. So I'll just round this for the most part to save me some fucking time. So first stream was 4 hours. Second stream was 3 hours. So that's 3.5 hours. 7. So we're already at 7.5. Third stream was another 3. So 10.5. Then another 3.5. So that's fucking 14. Then another 3.5. So that's 17.5 hours. Then another 3 hours. So 20.5. Then another 3.5 hours. So we've been going for a full 24 hours if we add up all the previous streams. One entire fucking day dedicated just to talking about SnO and Tashimono. We're not even done.
Eventually, there'll be a baby born on planet Earth who cannot get through all of the SNO Book Club live streams in the time between he's born and when he dies.
Why the fuck would you say that?
He'd have to watch continuously for his entire life, and even then he still wouldn't make it.
That's horrible.
Because we'll just be talking constantly. Speaking of baby death, though, Vaporweep says the stream is the only reason he's still alive. Which is worrying, honestly, considering we're ending in 2 episodes. So everyone, please say answer the chat for Vaporweep.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll do the Plunderer live streams. We'll give him another reason to live.
No, Vaporweep. Just if you're going through that anyway, be sure to dump all your savings accounts and shit into my fucking YouTube.
Shut the fuck up.
Super chats.
Fuck off, dude. Hey, oh man, this is the worst possible thumbnail we could use, or not the thumbnail, but what you have the screen on currently.
Yeah.
Work on the third season of the anime in progress.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that, but you're absolutely. Let's just zoom in on that for a bit.
Yeah, let's
absorb the irony as much as we fucking
ruminate
can.
It from a 2019 perspective.
Yes.
Looking at this
page.
The
third season was fucking canceled, and then we got a shitty movie in exchange.
It's funny how you had me do all that research to double check. Was it even supposed to be a third season?
And then the manga has ads for it everywhere.
Yeah. So for context, we're working on part 10 of the love letter, and because we're trying to be as factually
and massive fucking massive quotation marks.
Okay, I'm your fucking
Isaiah occasionally advises, and then I spend hours every day fucking bashing my head against a brick wall.
Okay, but once you fucking record it, I'm gonna be doing half the fucking editing, so I don't want to hear shit. All right, as far as I'm concerned, this is a co-project. And it all comes from thoughts that I have regurgitated a million times before you in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So,
anyways, I think you had a point to make, but I feel like you've gotten so off track.
You fucking derailed it. You could have just let me. You had to go and be like, oh god, fuck Isaiah. But anyway,
that's funny. You were providing context for why we had to research into season 3.
Oh yeah, because we wanted to be as accurate as possible. So Sai over here was
massive quotation marks.
Stop! Okay, Sai was writing it, and he wanted to be as accurate as possible. So of course he calls me out to fucking do his own research for him. So I'm checking every possible article at the time and reading all these fucking finding these old videos, and there's this weird mystery to it because Kadokawa took down a bunch of their SNO videos, so we couldn't find deliberate proof until I found the one remaining season 3 announcement video, which I translated it and confirmed that it said third season in progress. But all the time that we wasted doing that fucking shit, we could have just looked right here in the manga where it literally says third season.
For the record, the reason we were trying to figure that out is because I was confused whether a third season had ever been announced, or if they just announced like SNO project now in the works, and that was the movie. Basically, I'm trying to figure out if they were going to make a season 3, canceled it, and then made a movie, or if they were always just going to make a movie and that got like mistranslated as a season 3 at some point. But no, they were going to make a season 3 that got canceled, and then they made a movie instead. That is official.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew. Already starting it off with the super
we
chat.
haven't even done anything to deserve it yet. We've just been talking bullshit, sitting on a screen of the worst girls. So thank you.
Fuck off. They're the best
that.
girls. Also, Travis, the Magical Angel Cosmos does not go that much into synapse, but SNO kind of already explains why synapse needed the Angeloids. They were basically just made for shits and giggles at the end of the day. As we will find out as we get to the end of the streams, it was literally just for their entertainment. The warfare aspects of them were just so that they could fuck around and just kill humans, basically. Because why not?
Well, Daniel says he can't wait to get to the Harpy chapter, so why deprive him any longer? Let's fucking get to it.
All right, yeah. So for a quick recap of the last volume, as per usual, as we
everyone evolved, and then thankfully by not eating fish this time, and then
it was
Chaos showed up and then killed everyone. The end.
No, you're underselling it. The greatest fucking arc of all time happened, where fucking evil dark.
Yes.
Yeah, so far. Where a bunch of evil dark clones of the Angeloid showed up called the Milans, and they fucking beat the shit out of Tomoki, and they destroyed all of Astrea's weaponry, and then Nymph evolved, and she beat a bunch of them, but then she overheated, so Ikaros evolved, and she beat a bunch of them, and it looked like it was going to be okay, but then Chaos showed up, and she absorbed all of their cores, and she evolved again, and she was going to beat them, but she spared them because she didn't want to kill Tomoki. And it
was a really sad scene with Tomoki in the hospital where Chaos like lies in the bed with him, and he's like, "Please, Oni-chan, like, can I come home if I get smarter, pretty please?" And just like it breaks my heart, and I died, and yeah,
it was painful. And then we got some shit where we finally got to meet Tomoki's parents, and they fucked around as they
were underwhelming.
I like them.
Yeah. Also, how did you get to be such a cool guy, Sai? Guess I'm born with it. Also, next gen fish technology made me laugh.
Yeah, I just saw that next gen fish technology. they were synapse fish all along. Minos left them there as a backup plan.
Exactly. So we're starting on 58.
58, yeah. Oh, of course, you fucking took the Harpies off screen and put Ikaros instead. And goddamn.
Well, that's actually a thing from this chapter.
From this chapter, yeah. Beautiful color page, by the way.
Very, very pretty color page of Ikaros version 2. I love her fucking long hair. Like, Ikaros looks so good with long hair.
Yeah, I would say that, like...
I mean, she always has long hair, but it's, like, bundled up in ponytails, so she can't really tell. And it looks like she has a pixie cut, but yeah.
Yeah. I would say that, like... all of the Angeloids evolved designs are better than their original ones.
I wouldn't say they're better. I think the original ones are simpler, and I do prefer that. But I do think these are like, they are awesome, like upgraded versions. You know, like they are the original design, but more so to convey the extra power and shit.
I don't mean better as in like oh, this is a better design. I wish they had this all the time, but like they just look fucking cool whenever they're around.
Yeah, that's true. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Also, this looks like a fucking shampoo advert. I just wanted to
because she's like
the way she's like running fingers through her hair. Like maybe I'm bored with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Which is apropos considering I made that "maybe I'm born with it" joke like a minute ago. But, yeah.
Also, before we get started, just to answer Travis's question really quick, no, Magical Angel Cosmos did not get an anime. The only two manga by Suminizuki to get an anime so far are Sorano and Tashimono and soon to be Plunderer in January. You can read Magical Angel Cosmos on most manga sites. You know, you can go to like Manga Dex or Manga Reader or whatever, Batoto, whatever suits your boat. But anyway, on to the show.
Whatever suits your boat?
I meant to say suits. What's the expression?
It's whatever floats your boat or whatever suits you. You just like combine both of them at the same time?
I do this a lot where I have two things in my head and I can't.
I turn at the drop of a hat. which is turn on a dime and at the drop of a hat.
I probably would say that if I'm being honest.
I believe Digibro said that at one point, and someone made fun of him for it, which is why it's in my mind.
Fuck, of course he did. But anyway, do you want to take the first chapter, or shall I?
Why not? So we start with a really pretty color page of Sukuta like sitting at his like tent house as the birds chirping, the sun's out. Sai won't make the obvious Undertale joke, and he looks over at the little sign he's got placed on his tent, and he like looks at it and he stares at it for a second and turns away. And we can only imagine what is implied by this. And then we get again a beautiful fucking color page of Icarus. I do love this. Like, this is awesome. And then Yoshitsune is here. It's like, hello, you dear readers of Shonen Ace. Happy New Year. I think this is the most like brazen any character's been yet with the fourth wall breaking. Like,
aside from extra chapters.
Yeah, but like previously it's been like one throwaway line and then we're back to continuity. But here he's like he says Happy New Year, and all the characters are like, hey, this is like we're at like January 30th by this point because the manga takes a while to come out.
January 26th.
Yeah, whatever.
They specifically say on the next page that Ace gets released on the 26th of every month.
Whatever. January 30th is my birthday, so I jumped to that. I rounded.
Of course.
So yeah, fucking Tomoki's like, hey, the magazine we're in gets released on the 26th of every month, so it's not New Year's anymore. So telling the readers like Happy New Year is pointless. As he continues to ignore him and go, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Tomoki's like, so what are you here for this time? There's still a while to go before the culture festival starts again, And he's like, yes, I didn't want to do this, you see, but up until now I've always lost to you. So I thought of a plan to remind you of why we're superior. I tried to find something we could beat you in, but as it turns out, I didn't even have to think about it, because we have something you couldn't ever hope to compete with us in. And he says, and he fucking slaps him with a wad of cash. He's like, money, okane.
All I can hear is Tom and Jerry line, like money.
We've got to have wonder.
Money.
I too have watched Nostalgia Critic. Personally, what I think of is the joke in Kill la Kill where they shoot money at Mako.
Oh yeah, I think we had like this exact conversation in the previous stream.
Probably, honestly, yeah. Anyways, so he hits him back and forth with bills a bunch. It's like, that's right, we are rich. You are dirt poor, you commoner. And then he brings out like a fancy steak. It's like, don't you look at this? Don't you want some? Doesn't it look great? And Tomoki actually eats it. He's like, whoa, this is actually really good. And so Hori hits him. And Tomoki's like, hey, if it's a competition of money, we're not out yet. Because we have someone who's rich in black money. And then we see Mikako. I love Mikako in this crown. Like, Mikako in the crown looks fucking adorable.
And I love that Tomoki's still eating it.
Yeah, that's a really good note, is Tomoki is still eating the steak as he fights back against them.
I could totally picture his actors mouth half full.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Just like him chewing it like, Kuroi!
Yeah. So he's like, interesting. And how about a competition to see who is more rich? And for the record, I count this as a Mikako tournament. There is no way you'll convince me this is not a Mikako tournament in like a fancy hat.
Here's the thing. I was like half and half on it before I reread the chapter. I was like, would I count this as a culture festival or a Mikako tournament? Because it's kind of a little bit of both. And yet also neither. So I don't really count it, but if you count it, I accept it because they do have the announcers there.
Yeah, that's what really seals the deal for me, is that Takehara and Suguta are the ones commentating it, and they only do that at Mikako tournaments. So to me, that officially makes it a tournament arc. So this is the 7th Mikako tournament in SnO, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because the Angeloid competition was the 6th.
Right, yeah. Cool.
And this is the real last one, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
there's so many, we can't keep track. Anyways, so I do love just the idea of a who is richer competition. That just in itself is it's also a nice inverse of the classical stuff where rich people watch like poor people fight for their amusement. So it's just, anyways. So yeah, we're having a who has more money competition.
It's just like the pettiest setup of all time, and I
exactly, and I really like that. Also, fucking terrible fireworks at this event. Like, look at that. They got like, one piddly little like smoke cloud, and that's it for like massive. You think in a money competition they'd chill up something a bit more fancy than like one little tuft of smoke.
Was that supposed to be a firework?
I think it says poof. What else could it be? The cloud farting?
It's because they brought like the sign down, so that's like the little gust of wind. Like they rolled that. That's what I
guess.
Think. That makes more sense to because that's like a little gust of wind thing. That's not a firework. We know what Minazuki fireworks look like.
Fair enough. Anyways, so yeah, Takahara. I love that Takahara has all but disappeared from the manga except to commentate shit.
Yeah, he's never actually teaching.
When was the last time we saw him in a classroom setting? Like chapter 10? Like it's been like 50 chapters since we've seen him doing anything but this.
We've seen the science teacher more than we have him in school.
Exactly. So yeah, we're having competitions. So the first on the attack is the Hoyulin family. How do you say that? Hoin Kyoma. And so he says, like, shall we begin with a simple comparison of annual income? And he says, my family's annual income is 10 billion, with like servants dropping it out of briefcases just to make the effect. But as Sahara and Tomoki look on in horror, like, billions? What are billions? And then pulling through with the classic joke of, are they edible?
I for some reason I still like that gag, even though it's
I do too. It's fucking stupid, and I feel like her character's long grown out of that sort of thing, but it is just a funny running gag.
I also just the gag of like they're literally poor to know what $1 billion is.
Yeah, that's funny too. Just in comparison, what is the Satsukitane's family's annual income? She's like, oh, my money? Oh dear, it's never enough. I'm always in a bind. Hold on a second, I'll call and ask. So, and then we cut to like, is that the family where Tomoki showed his dick lightning to, or just a normal family?
No, that's just a normal family.
Okay, we get to a normal family, and they're watching a press conference with the Prime Minister, and Mikiko interrupts it and says, hey, Prime Minister, how much do you think you're going to fork over this year on live television in front of an audience? This fucking face. Now, interested by this, I did actually go and do some fucking research and see if this is a caricature of a specific person. And it seems to be, so far as I can tell, of the Prime Minister Noda Yoshitsukoko. The fucking Japanese names are awful. This guy right here, that's his name. I believe when I was looking it up, he was only Prime Minister for like a year, and like his like ministership, fucking his office ended like a month after this chapter was due to come out. Like it ended in December 2012, and so so like by this point, I think he's not even supposed to be prime minister anymore, which I think is interesting.
So Mikiko ended his career.
Potentially, yes. I didn't even make that connection until now, but yeah, you might be right. I thought it was like bad timing on Minazuki's part, but maybe that is an intentional joke. I don't know. If so, it's really fucking clever.
Right?
Anyways, so they're all stunned by this. Mikiko wins. And Sugato's like, let me explain. Every year, there's always a bit of the country's annual budget that mysteriously vanishes. The truth is, Mikiko looks at him. It's like, maybe it's better if I didn't say anything.
I love her face so much. Like,
yeah, like that is a great Mikiko face. Like, it's almost like a standard boring reaction, but in this context, that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so Yoshitsune fires back for saying they have a bunch of fucking maids, which is a compelling counter-argument. Unfortunately, Mikiko has a better compelling counter-argument that is a minigun and oregano. And I do love that oregano is just trying to be Mikiko's murder weapon at this point.
She's just a hitman.
Yeah, his little like finger snap, like "do it" is really funny too.
Do it.
Do it, do it, blew it.
Do it.
So then, it's like, what about this? A butler's. And Mako says,
No,
do it.
you undersold them. It's the well-educated butler battalion.
That's true. I'm sorry. The well-educated butler battalion. Yeah. What is the point of having a butler be well-educated if you're just going to be bringing you tea every day? That seems like a waste of skills to me. Anyways, they are no match for Miko's Yakuza hitmen. And her face here again, just the nonchalance with which she orders them to be beaten to death is really funny.
I love that Yoshitsune is in the crossfire each time too.
Yes, that is also amazing. It's like, damn you, damn you, damn you, damn you! I raise you a private jet. And I was a little like, his little chibi image here is adorable. I love that.
Looks
Also,
like another ad.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, it was a little bit immature of me to bring this out, but monkeys will be monkeys. And he looks out the window. Miko's got a fucking fighter jet being piloted by her. And Yoshitsune's reaction, no! Was really funny.
It's fucking the genuine terror on his face.
It's really good.
I love that the dialogue bubble is
blood
a
splatter.
Blood splatter too.
Yeah. That's great. Bam! He blows up and he dies. Yoshitsune death counter at like 3 or 4 by this point, by the way.
That's going to continue to go up.
Yes, it will. So he like says something, goes, you just what did you do to make the money to buy those things? Like, well, I put a lot of thought into my customers' needs and provided them with the best possible services. Which is really funny. She's like, are we done here? He's like, damn it. It's impossible. I can't win. Not against her black money. I can't win against it. But then, can we nail down her name? What is her fucking name?
Tsukino.
Tsukino. Okay, yeah. He's from Monogatari. Yeah.
Yeah, I called her Tsukiko last time because there's another character in this manga I read called Tsukiko. Tsukino.
Tsukino says, "Not yet, Onisama." And there's like a rumble of like surprise and tension. She says, "We still have one thing they couldn't hope to compare with. Here!" And all the girls walk out. And so the thing that they can't hope to compare with is like the like well-educated or like fucking what's specific? Yeah. The fragrance of hair washed with high-class shampoo, perfect bodies built from perfect nutritionist designed diets. So just the beauties of their private school are. I
love that the boys just start crying.
Yes, the fact that the boys are crying, it's so beautiful. This is a level you country girls couldn't even hope to obtain. And Suga's like, what a fool, throwing a hare into a lion's den. And we flip the next page to Tomoki staring up her skirt. I love that Tomoki's naked and chained up. Like, when did that happen?
Well, I
love that it happens so much in the manga that it can just be assumed to have been done off screen.
Well, keep in mind, his title is officially The Naked King.
I mean, yes, but still. Anyways, so she's like, yeah, no. Because, stay John, not yet. Why John? What does that mean?
Because she's treating him like a dog.
I get that, but like, why John? Why not Fido? Or, something.
Probably a reference to something.
Maybe, I don't fucking know. You think it was a reference like that originally? I think it's a full rules edition.
I don't know. I'm not going to go translate to see if it actually put fucking John.
Fair enough. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure it's accurate though.
Anyway, so she then releases Tomoki's chain, and she go, and he chases all the girls and does he does his usual shtick. They come from the sidelines like, delicious? Is it delicious, John? Are you thankful, John? What the fuck does John mean? I don't understand. It's so weird. I don't get it. Anyways, so the usual shit happens. And their student's like, an eye for an eye! And takes one of the Sarami girls and like flips her skirt up. He's like, oh! And then he like gets a nosebleed. He's like, what is this feeling? This bittersweet yet exciting. And Tomoki gets all dramatic and he's like, isn't it great? He's like, Mr. Sakurai, I see you are always living in this kind of world. I can't hope to match you. He says, why don't we just leave the winnings and losings aside? More importantly, let's enjoy this together. Mr. Sakurai. And Sahara shows up and beats the shit out of them. And so anyways, they both go to the afterlife and they get waved back by Tomoki's grandpa again.
I like that they're holding hands.
Yeah, that's also funny. And I like that, like, in addition to Tomoki's grandpa showing up, Yoshitsune's two grandpas show up. Like, that's a funny little bit of, like, just weirdness, I guess. Great grandpa too?
I also like that literally only Estrella and Yoshitsune have gotten to meet Tomoki's grandfather.
So, anyway, so we cut back to reality. And then there is Yoshitsune lying on the ground. And Suguto's like, yeah, hang in there. You're back. So Yoshitsune death counter confirmed at 5. And he's like, oh, you're the Suguto-kun always doing analysis, right? And he's like, what the heck is that girlfriend of yours? She's not my girlfriend. Am I mistaken? She's not my girlfriend.
Yeah, I love that he repeats it like exactly the same. Like, God, I wish this was in the anime because I could totally just imagine his actor.
Absolutely. What is Mikiko's and Suguto's relationship, do you think? Is like really good childhood friends? Because there seems to be like a fucking love between them.
Well, by the end of the manga, they're like, they are a couple. You know, it's pretty spoilers, but it doesn't fucking matter. They like each other. It's pretty blatant. I'd say Mikiko likes him a lot more than he likes her, but
yeah, I was just going to ask, what do you think Suguto sees in Mikiko?
I do think he likes her a lot, and I do think that I mean, Suguto in general is just not good at expressing his feelings, so it's kind of difficult to read him. But
that's fair.
Like, she's literally the only person he's ever had all his life until he met Tomoki, so
that's fair. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of which, Yoshitsune's like, hey, are you perhaps that Suguta? He says, playing the pronoun game, a Cinema Sins gives us a ding. He says, oh wow, so you're that Suguta. Oh man, my father is always in your care. And Suguta's like this like dreadful aura around him. Yoshitsune is shocked. He's like, what is wrong? Why do you make such a scary face? He says, I am not that Suguta. Don't you dare make me say that again. So he walks away in dramatic fashion. The end.
I want to like edit this page so that instead of saying that, he just says bye again. Bye. I am not that Suguta. Bye.
That's the best running joke. I love it.
So this chapter, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. If we're counting this as a Mikiko tournament, I'd say it's pretty middling.
Yeah, I'd say
it's better than yo-yo fishing. It's better than yo-yo fishing. It's not nearly as good as Angeloid competition.
No, yeah, Angeloid Festival was the peak, which is why I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the last one because Minazuki knew to top it. But if we count this, then yeah, this is definitely a downgrade. But at the same time, how are you going to fucking match that?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, in fairness, he does make a spirited attempt. There's a lot of really funny shit in this chapter.
No, this chapter, like
Yoshitsune is like, no face is like a particular highlight to me. In terms of really good comedy stuff.
And as we always say, like, Mikiko just existing on screen is always entertaining. So the fact that
absolutely.
So seeing her like being more proactive in one of her tournaments is really great. Because normally she's just point. Like, yeah, because normally Mikiko's just kind of there at the end
in the background,
Tomoki. Yeah. Whereas here it's like her directly competing.
Aside from like bonus chapters like the North Wind and the Sun, is this like the first like Mikiko focused chapter we've had?
Unless you count the other one where it started with her, that one festival where, you know, she was like, I haven't appeared in 4 months. But even then, I'd say this is more.
That was like before yo-yo fishing, right?
I think that was before.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I guess you could say she was pretty much the star of yo-yo fishing too.
Yeah, because the chapter started and ended.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
But other than that, this was like the only time we've really seen her as the lead character.
Right, yeah. Fair enough.
But yeah, I think that's more alleged. Oh, and I just want to add in that I'm Shitsune, and I'm very glad that Minazuki decided to rein him in as a main character, because I feel that he works as like a middleman, I suppose, where like he's not quite on Tomoki's level, but he's not
as he literally says in this chapter.
Yeah.
Like
where
you're always living in this world, I can't hope to match you.
Yeah, he's almost like Tomoki's protege as it goes on, but at the same time, because he's not on Tomoki's level, he has a lot more like serious scenes as well, which like sets him apart, and I like him a lot.
Right,
and it's just great to take like a stupid like one-off bully character that like any other series would forget about, and just be like, oh, by the way, he's a main character now. Pretty
much, yeah. I do like that. As for like Yoshitsune's character, I think he's like solidly okay.
Yeah, he's not like my favorite. He's like an oregano type character, you know?
Yeah, I would put him on the same level as oregano. Yeah.
Yeah, better than Hiyori, but not anywhere near.
Saying much though.
Yeah, but like on like a scale, like Hiyori's at the bottom, and then we move up when we get to like the oregano, the Yoshitsune, the Soharas, and then we get to like the Mikakos and the Sugatas, and then we move on to like the Angeloids and Tomoki.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
And Minos, because Minos is god tier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Minos is great. I love Minos so much.
It's genuinely
we get so much of him this live stream. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm
fucking hyped.
Absolutely. I said in my notes that I get the impression Yoshitsune was only like reintroduced because Minazuki had some ideas for like the ways he wanted the finale to go and sort of needed an extra character for that.
Oh, it's 100% for that, and also for Zukata's character development, because I suppose we should probably touch on this before we fucking move on. This is like the first time since like the beginning of the manga that Sugata's like fucking heritage
history
has been, like,
or past or
yeah, like it's basically just been ignored ever. Like I think the last time it was brought up was when Tomoki was going to be executed by Mikako's family, and she was like, "Oh well, you know, if you told them you were that Sugata, you could do something about it." And he was about to.
If you invoked your family name, then maybe.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. So this is our first like with both the ending of this chapter and the nice bit of like foreshadowing at the start of the chapter where he like looks at his own family name, like sort of like turns away from it in disgrace, which I quite like. This is the first sort of like, you know, if this chapter had a plot purpose, it was to like reintroduce the idea of like some shenanigans going on with Sugata in his past.
To answer the chat real quick, to see we're missing a lot of shit before we move on to the next chapter. Hiyori does appear in this arc, not very much.
Does she? I don't remember.
Yeah, she appears in the chapter with Tomoki's mom that we'll get to later.
Oh, that's right. She's like 2 pages, yeah.
Hiyori is essentially reduced to a background character after her arc, because I think even Minazuki knew that she's not exactly interesting. Until the end of the manga where he tries to get some more use out of her, but even then I would still say that she's the worst part of the final arc.
Yeah, there are interesting ideas with what he tries to do in the last bit with her, but like they are pretty mangled as like ideas go. But
yeah, like it's not bad. I like what he was trying to do with like chapter 69 with her.
Yeah,
but it's too little, too late, and then she just kind of does something really stupid the next chapter. But we'll get there.
Yeah. I'm having to hold myself back from just going to a fucking rant about that. But
I know, yeah.
For a different time, next live stream, we'll touch on it then.
Yeah, I would say that scene when we get there is like the one issue I have with the final arc.
The one big, I have a bunch of like little nitpicks, but yeah, it's the one big one.
Yeah, but anyway, we will get there. Now let's go into the next chapter.
That's fair. So the next chapter is 59.
59, yeah, siblings. So this chapter opens at the Hoenn family.
Fuck yeah, incest. My little sister can't possibly be this rich.
Fuck. That's what they got the Yoshitsune spin-offs called.
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway, it opens with Yoshitsune drinking some tea. And then he sees Tsukino walking by.
Is this the exact same shot of Mikako sipping tea before she
Yes,
like,
it
crushed
is.
it? And, yeah. This
Which
is
I like a
presumably
lot.
set to mirror that shot. Yeah.
Minazuki is very big on repeating framing, which I like.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Fuck off. Was it that? No. For my high school grad quote, I made it a George Lucas quote. But instead, I was going to use. Yeah, just because I thought only because I thought it'd be fucking hilarious to see it in my yearbook, and it was. But I didn't use that one. The one I used was Jar Jar is the key to all of this if we can get him working, because he's a funnier character than we've ever had before. So that is my one legacy. Anyway, we talk about Star Wars weirdly a lot on these streams.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking the other day, I was trying to catalog like media I like that doesn't like reference or take like obvious influence from Star Wars in some way. It's SNO, for all of our talk of Star Wars, does SNO actually have any like direct references to it or like obvious inspirations?
None that come to mind. I mean, I guess if you were reaching, you could compare Zeus to like the fucking Death Star laser thing. But it's just a fucking giant laser, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyone can have that. But anyway, moving onwards. So he sees Tsukino walking by and he's all like, "Oh, Tsukino, breakfast is going to get cold if you don't join me." And she slaps his hand away and she's all like, "Don't touch me. I didn't think that Oni-sama was the type to do those sorts of things. Things like flipping girls' skirts." And he's like, "No, wait, Tsukino, it's not what you think." And she proclaims
it's exactly what she thinks, but anyway.
It is, yes. And she just screams, "You're dirty!" And he fucking...
Oh!
Yeah, it's like, oh! I wish I could hear his voice act say it, make that sound, because his voice in the anime is so goddamn deep. I wish I could
Can you imagine, like, if SNO had gotten, a season... after Forte, they went on like every year it got a new season. Do you think they would have been able to get Yoshitsune and like Tsukino's voice actors back like 7 or 8 years later after their original roles?
I think so. I mean, because like they got the Harpies back for that one cameo at the end of Final.
Right, that's fair.
In this CD for literally one line reading.
Yeah.
Because in Japan, like,
is it actually the Harpies that do that? Because I feel like that could have been done pretty easily by like any kind of imitator.
It was. Japan has like this for the most part. Japan like is more strict when it comes to characters. Like if someone voices a character, they pretty much are that character until death. There are some exceptions, but like they're very big on honoring the seiyuu that play their characters. Because like Goku's actress is like 89 and she's still playing Goku.
Right, yeah. Well, I would say there's a difference between the person who voices Goku, arguably the most famous protagonist of all time, and a single line of dialogue for the Harpies and a bonus Blu-ray extra.
That is true. That is just one example of like she's literally almost bedridden at this point, but she's still like, I won't just be Goku. I'll voice his entire family because that's how big they are in honoring characters. But like,
fair enough.
Granted, that's Goku, but I mean in general too.
The image of like a 80-year-old woman lying in a hospital bed with an IV drip doing a Super Saiyan yell is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you're dirty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he's crushed very literally as we see the entire house shake, and then we get.
I think the house is crushed. The house itself is like, oh no, this cannot stand.
That's what I meant. Like that, like the. Anyway, I guess my delivery didn't fucking convey that. Anyway, cute picture of the Angeloids. The chapter's called Siblings, so we see the three of them.
I like that their like represented ages here are like according to like when they were built. It's like Ikaros is the first, so she's the oldest wearing like a businesswoman outfit, and Nymph's like in middle school, and Astria's got like a kindergarten outfit on. But I like Astri's having to like duck and shake to like maintain a position so that Nymph can reach her head to give her a head pat. Like that's just a really cute idea.
It also represents their levels of maturity, which I like. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted by the ads for Blu-ray sales and SNO Pico there. So we cut to the Sakurai household. Everyone's looking on in shock, except Astrea. Astrea's smiling, which I like. As we see Yoshitsune, who invited himself over just to be miserable. And as Tomoki attempts to comfort him, he's like, "Don't touch me, I'm dirty," and he cries everywhere. And everyone's like, "What are we gonna do? We gotta fucking get him out of here." And so Tomoki's all like, "Well, she's your sister, isn't she? You two always get along." And Yoshitsune's like, "That's right. She's clung to me ever since she was little. She's so cute." And then Ikaros deadpanly responds, "But she said you were dirty." And he goes right back to fucking crying. So then
it's like a weird line for Ikaros of all people to deliver. It feels like more like in the Nymph or Astria territory of stuff to say.
Yeah, fair, but I don't know. The fact that it's Ikaros makes it opinion.
Yeah,
because she's not saying it with the intent to harm, which I think is what makes like his next reaction.
She's like honestly, genuinely like, wait, logical contradiction. Earlier you said this.
Yeah,
yeah.
So they all decide like the only way we can get them the fuck out of here is by repairing their relationship. So of course Mikako shows up as usual, holding a Febreze bottle for some reason, an actual licensed Febreze bottle.
I didn't actually. I saw the spray bottle. I didn't actually see the logo, but yeah, you're right. It is just a Febreze bottle. Like,
yeah,
I think the idea is that she's spraying him because he is dirty.
No, it is. It's her way of mocking him because she said he was dirty, so she's like trying to fucking air it out. Yeah. But it's very weird that it's like an actual Febreze bottle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mikako, being Mikako, is like, "Oh well, the only way we can fix your relationship is to make her jealous. The whole reason she's upset is because you had your heart stolen by other girls' panties. So we just have to make her even more jealous to win her back." And of course, Tomoki and Yoshitsune are stupid and think this is a great idea.
I love that, like, he's trying to look serious and he's getting sprayed by the Febreze.
Sprayed of Febreze, yeah. So we cut away to Tsukino walking alone by herself when we see Tomoko again doing her usual, like, "Oh, I'm late, I'm so late."
I'm an anime girl. Oh no.
Yeah. And then we see Yoshitsune wearing like a fucking stupid outfit doing the same thing.
Well, no, it's the same like middle school or high school outfit like the JoJo's wear, right?
No, yeah, it's I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, he's even got like a twig in his mouth, like the thing
exactly.
That, like the delinquent boys would do. Like he's all like, "The teachers are going to be mad at me again!" And they crash into each other.
I don't think the evil laugh suits that. I think he's like, I think like a badly acted laugh, because he's like, like a shitty actor. Like, man, the teachers are gonna be mad at me. Ha 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 ha.
Like a Mandark laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Like a very badly acted. Yeah.
But yeah, he falls on top of Tomoko, and they're all blushing. And I like that Ikaros gets behind them and holds up a sign that is supposed to be their inner thoughts.
Like, again, this foreshadowing for Dokui and Koken.
Yeah. So like, "Oh, this is how I met Yoshitsune-kun. Could this be love?" And they look. What I like is that they immediately look over and to gauge her reaction. And she just ignores them and keeps walking. And Mikako's like, "This isn't enough love. You have to keep going." So Yoshitsune flips Tomoko's skirt again and shows her panties. And Tomoko does her usual Tomoko stuff of like getting all flustered and embarrassed. And then Tsukino just fucking knees her in the face. And Mikako's all like, "See, then the only logical to flip even more skirts." And Yoshitsune's just like, "Of course!" And so he goes and he flips Makiko's skirts, and he flips a bunch of girls from the school skirts. And then eventually, fucking, I just love his face getting sunk by her knee. And she
It is
continues
really
to
good.
do it and just fucking drills it in. And then I love he just goes, Satsuki Tane! Really, that she's been fucking him over.
And
Well,
Mikiko's
because
reaction is the funniest part of the entire chapter.
she's
Like,
trying her best to hold back a laugh when she's like, oh
Yes,
dear,
exactly.
how odd. And now they're just thinking to themselves, like, oh, what are we going to do? And then Tomoki brings up one of his brilliant schemes. He's like, well, our only option is to make Tsukino flip a skirt herself. Right now, she hates you because you flipped a skirt. So if she flips a skirt, she would be a hypocrite to hate you. And so we get
Of
ominous fucking lightning come from the sky.
It makes perfect sense.
The greatest of plans. This is why I like fucking Yoshitsune and Tomoki so much, because they're just fucking Dumb and Dumber. And so,
yeah, that's fair.
But not like the
I was going to say, it wasn't Astria the original, like, dumb Tomoki's dumber.
It was, but it's like a different sort of thing where instead of like, because they mostly like bicker and like argue, whereas with these two, it's just like one suggests a stupid idea and the other's like, this is brilliant. What could go wrong?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So they show up before Tsukino, and she blushes because not only is Yoshitsune cross-dressing, but they both have giant erections.
Yep.
As the wind roars around them. and Sohara's like, okay, this is too fucking much, but before she can stop them, their boners start to waggle around.
What a sentence. What a sentence.
But it is revealed that it is not a real erection. They simply shoved pigeons down their skirts.
Fascinating. What great decision making.
Why
did they do that? Why? I don't
because
get it.
it's supposed to be like, as they say, like, don't you want to see what's under here? Oh, you got to flip it if you want to see. And so they fucking run after her as she runs away in embarrassment, as the number of birds they stuff in their fucking skirts increase. And then, well, Yoshitsune's like, look,
Again,
it's a magic trick.
Another wonderful sentence.
he's like, look, it's a magic trick. Don't you want to find this? Tomoko's like fucking having a fucking orgasm, essentially. And as they shove their bird dicks in her face, Sohara finally comes from behind, and she's okay.
Again, so many this is a wonderful series of sentences.
I am very purposefully narrating it this way to sell the absurdity of the scene.
Yeah.
As even Sohara is like, this is too far even for our manga. But before it can continue, Tsukino screams, I hate you, which is very much undercut by the bird
by the bird in his skirt.
Oh
man, what a dramatic character mode. Fucking
right.
I said by the bird in his skirt, my mind immediately went to The Fault in Our Stars. Which is like a similar sort of like sentence structure. The bird in our skirts.
To add to the dramaticness of the scene, the birds break free of the skirt and fly out to the background.
Oh, thank God.
As she says, I hate
poor
you,
creatures.
Onisama. You should just die! Die, Onisama! I don't know why I said that like a fucking pastor, but... Die! Die, young lad! Die! But what I like is that in a very quick moment, Sugita simply sighs, walks over, and fucking pimp slaps her. Immediately, Yoshitsune grabs Sugita and he says, how dare you! And he fucking punches him. And Tomoko has to hold him back, and while Estrella holds Sugita, and Sugita simply responds, look carefully. Does your brother look dirty to you right now? You just told him to go die, and yet he's defended you. Is your brother really dirty? And finally, Tsukino reveals her true feelings. As she says, it's because Onisama's eyes have been stolen by other girls. I really like the polka dot effect on all the characters here.
Yes, Minazuki's dots use Pandora and evolved into this new form. and so... We're going to Plaid!
Fucking Spaceballs. We've used Pandora on our Star Wars references and
oh yeah.
But everyone looks on in horror, like, what the fuck? As she says, ever since I was young, I've looked up to One-sama, and yet his eyes have been stolen by other girls' panties. If you want to flip a skirt so much, why don't you just flip mine? Look! And Mikuko's just like,
dear viewers, you thought that my fucking reference to Ori Ebo at the start of this chapter was just a funny, stupid joke, but no, there was actual incest in SNO, and also Tsukino actually looks like Kirino, like to a disturbing degree, frankly.
Even Mikuko, I love Mikuko's like, oh shit, I was right. she was just fucking around. But she called the twist of the chapter. And meanwhile, Tsukino cries as she reveals her true face, and it's everyone's, just kind of ignores the weird incest to be happy that they prepared their relationship.
This chapter does not deserve a dramatic 2-page spread of her crying. Like, this is wasted with fucking the weird shit in this chapter.
But yeah, so Sugita rightfully does the right thing. I'm out, and he starts walking away. And Yoshitsune's wait, I'm sorry that I hate you. Tsukita's like, it's fine. I just did when I was needed. And then he turns to Tsukino and he says, treasure your brother. He's a great sibling. Which will have that line.
Chekhov's gun!
It was literally only now that it hit me. It was literally only just now when I read that line out loud that the implication hit me. I always got
it before now.
Well, I got that it's because of his family, but not because of the specific family situation that he had. Because the line is specifically,
obvious,
okay. Well, fuck off. Anyway, so he walks off to be on his own as Yoshitsune realizes, yes. He is the second son of the Sugita family. He's Ishiro Sugita. And Mikuko looks down dejectedly as she understands what he's going through. We cut back to Sugita by himself, but he turns around, seemingly sensing an ominous presence. And just as he turns to cook his food, we see that chaos is behind him.
Fuck yes.
And she laughs and she says, that's right. Aren't you just like me? Which is a really fucking cool way to end a stupid chapter.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So your thoughts on this?
I mean, Chaos's inclusion makes any bumps any chapter up by 2 points, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's this chapter is fucking bizarre. It's funny. It is a very funny. Maybe not very funny. It's just the absurdity of it. And the fact that it's actual incest is a little weird.
Yeah, I am not very hot on this chapter personally.
I think it's funny simply because like earlier, just reading the events out loud is so absurd that it makes you laugh. And Mikuko's always great, as we've established. But really, the saving grace of this chapter is the Sugita character development that's building.
Okay, here's the thing, right? I am almost positive that this chapter is the result of Minazuki wanting a scene at the end, where Sugita, slaps Tsukino, and they have to have a confrontation about it, and then getting that dramatic payoff, and then he had to work his way up to that situation happening. He started with the 100%. End goal of that, and then the comedy in the meantime is absolutely Minazuki autopilot, though. This chapter exists solely for the sake of the last 5 pages. The rest of it's filler.
Yeah, this sort of in-between arc before the Harpy arc, I suppose the Melon arc leftovers, it's not bad, and it will improve immediately in terms of comedy. For the most part, it's not the funniest comedy chapters, but they do get better than this. But
it's not even a great fan service chapter.
Well, there's not much fan service in it.
There's quite a bit. There's a whole arc about flipping skirts and bullshit.
Well, I suppose compared to other SnO.
Yeah, I'm just saying, on page, what is this? Page 16, the underwear is back to looking like diapers again, which is just disconcerting.
Fair. But it's really Sugita's character arc that saves these. Well, last chapter was good. I mean, it's the undercut thing that you're already invested in that carries the not so funny bits, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I still enjoy this chapter, and I really love...
I mean, yeah, it is enjoyable. I don't regret my time reading it, but it is, kind of not great.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Yoshitsune's entire inclusion is pretty much just to give someone who can facilitate Sugata's development.
Well, that's fine.
Which I don't mind.
I'm fine with. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind that at all. It's just like I said it before. I think the best way to summarize this chapter is the comedy is Minazuki autopilot.
Yeah, which we haven't seen in a long while, so it's
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's more or less all we can say about this one. It's
pretty much.
It's fine. It's funny, but it's not great.
It's fine. Yeah.
And sadly, even though
I don't know, like in the context of the other way better chapters around it, this just feels weaker because of that.
Yeah, the fact that it comes off the heels of the Melon arc and before the
if this had
Harpy
been
arc,
like before the Hiyori arc, like during the Hiyori arc, I would have been a lot kinder to it.
This would have fit very well
because it's squished between the Harpy arc and the Melon arc. It's really bland.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I'm going to forget about it the second I fucking leave the chapter. So.
True. But yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. But now next chapter, which is a whole lot fucking better. Chapter 60, Sisters, continuing the familial theme this arc had, which I really love.
Yes. So, I agree. So it starts off with Asteroid down at the river. And I wanted to say, I put this in my notes, because later when the you-know-who show up, Tomoki's like, well, I guess you guys are living at my house now. So he's not opposed to having more angelids living at his house. So why is Astria still at the fucking river, like, trying to eat food? Like,
here's the thing.
That seems more like the running joke than like something that actually makes sense at this point.
No, well, one, we do know that she empties his fridge quite, so it wouldn't surprise me if this was like, okay, I've eaten all the food, back to the river. And two, I feel like it's become habitual for her. You know, it's like almost like habitual at this point. You know,
fair enough.
Where either way, I like it. It's
like chaos in the Mariana Trench. It's just where she goes when she defaults to a place. Anyway, so she's hungry and she's looking at mushrooms. She's like, eating this one will cause paralysis. Eating this one won't cause paralysis. So if I eat this, I'll be paralyzed, but I'll lose my eyesight. And if this one will give me a stomachache. Right, I remember now. I just have to eat this one and I won't be paralyzed. And fucking Tomoki
it's the very first one.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? As Astria is being torn apart by the bear and the raccoons of Tanukis again.
Yeah.
Which is adorable. Tomoki's like, hey, Mikiko bought some cake. Do you want some? It's like, yes! And they go back to his house. I wonder now why we even bother with the river framing device to start the chapter. Like, would there be a difference if, like, the chapter just started with them sitting in Tomoki's house, like, eating cake?
Yes, it would have, because then the next gag couldn't have happened because they all would have been there.
I suppose. So Astria shows up, and she's got, like, a rice ball or a jelly donut on her plate.
Fuck off.
As she looks at this jelly donut.
Jelly filled are my favorite.
Yes. Cake. And she's like, cake? You guys ate Astria's portion too. And who says that? Who is handing her this?
It's Nim.
Who says, does she? Okay. Nim says, I still have some. She's like, whoa, cake. And she hands it. Is that a log? Yeah, it's like a stick.
I can't tell what that's supposed to be. I don't know if it's...
My first thought was that it was a churro, but it doesn't make sense if it's a churro, so I think it's just a stick.
Yeah.
Anyways, she hands him a stick. She does say this tastes really, really familiar, and we do know she eats wildlife, so it's probably a stick. She's like, oh, really? In that case, cake. And she hands her a seed. And Astria just starts crying.
I think that's one of the best reactions.
Yeah, like it reminds me of the joke in K-On! Where Mugi steals a strawberry. You remember that?
Oh yeah, she just
how Mio just like bursts into tears without changing facial expressions. And she goes, "The cake's all gone." And they're like, we are truly sorry.
God, I remember this chapter when it first came out. All the comments.
All the comments.
Is a lie.
Oh,
is a lie.
Is that a thing?
I thought you would have picked up on it immediately, Mr.
No, well, okay. As much as I love Portal, I have like scrubbed my memories of the cake as a lie shit because like it's
I
just
wish I
so
could.
overused. Yeah, it's like how I've tried to scrub my mind of Pickle Rick, which is
Oh fuck! I'd actually forgotten about. Fuck!
glad to reintroduce that to your life. Anyways,
God, fucking neck. All I can think of is all the times that I turned himself into something now, and just. Oi, Sohara! I turned myself.
anyways, so Mikiko says like I had a cake for everyone. What happened? They all try to figure out who ate the cake in this like stunningly boring scene. For the record, like it says a lot when it's bad in the manga. You know exactly how awful it'll be in the anime. Like, and this is like one of the worst bits of the movie, as far as I am concerned. Just in terms of like just fucking like, please end the scene already. I'm so bored. So they all fought over who ate the cake, and we turn the page, and Nymph's like, I don't know either, and she's got her fucking mouth full. Credit where it's due, though, as opposed to the movie, which does adapt this joke. We at least are like, they hide Nymph's face before this point, so that we don't see her cheeks are full. Whereas in the movie, they show her just like normal chibi face, and then later cut to her mouth full. It doesn't make any sense. Because the movie's written by idiots. Anyways, so Nymph ate the cake, and Asteria gets mad. And Ikaros is like doing her like coping mechanism of just like poking the like hat off the thing. So they're about to fight. Tomoki gets blown up. Tomoki's like, Ikaros, hurry and stop them. And then they fight.
I love how she's blushing as she plays with adorable.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized that this toy has a pompadour, which I like very much.
It's space dandy.
Hey.
So actual like interesting character development shit happens right here, where Astra's like, "Hi, you're gonna fight me at close range? If I use Chrysor," and she pulls out the broken hilt of her lightsaber, which doesn't make any sense, but yeah. And she remembers that it broke against the Melon Angeloid's Aegis, and then Nymph like roundhouse kicks her into a wall. And then Nymph uses Paradise Song, and she's like, "It's not a real. I still have Aegis L," and she realized that broke too. And then she gets hit by Paradise Song. And the second time that it's been useful.
The third, I think?
Yeah, actually it's the third, yeah.
Yeah, she blew up Mikiko's wall with it. She used the Super Paradise Song.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is the third time.
She blew up Mikiko's wall with it.
And she destroyed Hiyori's tornado.
Anyways, so Nymph's like, ha 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 ha. And then Oregano comes in from off screen and like boots her in the face and then shoots her with a machine gun. And I can't even tell what she's doing right here, but she's hurting Nymph.
She's slapping the shit out of her. You can see that her cheeks are swollen.
Okay, yeah, so Oregano uses double slap. And then she says, like, if you ever need help getting rid of seaweed, just give me a call, making like a little phone gesture, which is probably the cutest moment Oregano ever gets in the manga. Like, this is adorable. I love this.
Well, this and the one where like Tomoki pet.
I don't know. Like, I think this is the perfect mixture of funny and cute at the same time.
Fair, yeah.
Anyways, so Horror brings up the elephant in the room that Oregano's like, I can't help but notice you really don't like Nymph, do you? It's almost like you have a personal grudge against her. And she says, like, I'll take this opportunity to tell everyone my tragic backstory. Back then, I was still living in Synapse. That day, she came to the general residential district where all the other Oreganos are. And Nymph's like walking, she's been beat up. It's like, she'd probably just been scolded by her master and looked terrible, almost as if she had been abandoned. We service angeloids were originally designed to mend physical injuries, foreshadowing. So we had hoped to at least heal her wounds. With these thoughts in mind, we approached her, but then she goes, "Hey, cheer up, everyone! Let's sing!" Okay. My sisters, they toppled over one after another. From that point on, every time she appeared, we all tried to escape as fast as we could, but we had no chance. She forced us to sit quietly and listen for hours at a time. With considering what our Paradise Song did to like the entire world, this does have to be hell. Like, this is awful.
I guess we were under.
We were what?
A-tier. We were underselling Paradise Song, and now I have to move it up to A tier.
Yeah, apparently.
Angeloid attacks.
Yeah.
She's just been using it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. What if every time Nymph uses Paradise Song, Data's like, no, you idiot, you have to actually sing for it to work. It's in the name. Exactly, yeah. So she's like, my sisters one by one. I must disable this terrible sonic weapon without fail for my sisters. And Nymph's like, you. It's like, still not dead, I see. Oregano blasts everything with a minigun, kills everything with a rocket launcher. And Sora's like, Ikros, you have to stop them.
By the way, before we move on, can I say I love that Oregano is shooting at Nymph. It goes off one side of the screen and then comes back from the other just so it can hit Tomoki and Estrella.
That is funny. So Ikros is like, please stop it, you two. And then I presume Nymph's Paradise Song vaporizes the toy. And then it just like blows away. Yeah, it like stays like soot all like for a second, then just like whoosh, like blows away in the wind. Classic Looney Tunes gag. Yeah, classic Looney Tunes. That. And then Ikros is like powers up to version 2. She's like, yeah. Like, then Oregano hides behind her, and she's like, Nymph, she was bullying me. She's like, what? No. Like, Nymph, please reflect upon your actions. Hephaestus Mark II, which I love it. It's just 2 Hephaestuses. Like, it's not been upgraded in any obvious way. It's just 2 of them now.
They're smaller, though. Like,
are they?
I
suppose, yeah.
You forget that the first Hephaestus was, like, literally bigger than Icarus' body.
That's fair, yeah. Anyways, so Nymph's like, that's a bit much. It's something I can shield myself with. Shield, shield, shield. She looks at Astria. She's like, that's it! Finishing move! Little sister barrier! And then Hephaestus Mark II fires. And I love the shot of Nymph like running away as Astria looks like what? Like the Nymph running away in the background's really funny. And Astria gets blasted and goes like flying. And she lands, and seconds later, Tomoki lands behind her. Which is a funny joke. She's like, what the hell is a little sister barrier? Why am I always the one who has to suffer?
I also love that as she hits the ground, you can see her fucking shatter.
Her what?
Like her armor shatters as she hits the ground.
Yeah, you're right. Like, why am I always the one who has to suffer? Is it because I'm the youngest? Is that why I'm a mere barrier? I don't want to be the youngest. I want a little sister too. This like should be shot of Astri's adorable, by the way.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. Anyways, I want a little sister too. She stops. She's like, little sister, and she remembers the chaos exists. She's like, that's right. I do have one, but and then Tomoki interrupts her thought process, like, rescue me or I'll die. So she pulls him out of the ground. He's like, when I get back, I'm definitely gonna. And he's like, what's wrong? She's like, I'm really useless, aren't I? He pauses. She's like, when the Melon Angeloids came, I was of no help at all. And on top of that, both Chrysor and Aegis too broke. And when Chaos appeared, I was powerless. Why didn't it activate? Pandora, why didn't it activate for me? I'm a combat Angeloid after all. Tomoki, like, he pauses, like, Well, there's no helping it. You're stupid after all. She's like, what? Shut up, Baka. He's like, on the other hand, Ikros said it best. The most powerful close combat Angeloid is you, right? I don't understand any of this at all, but even if I don't get it, I do understand that you're already free, right? Which seems like a non sequitur from their previous conversation, but oh well, I'll allow it.
This is a gorgeous goddamn colored fucking, or not colored, 2-page
color?
spread.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Isaiah sees in dog vision. He only sees black and white.
I've seen this picture colored many times, so I have it like in my head.
This is a very cute page. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Tomoki Astrea moments.
Yeah, it is very cute. He's like, you don't have to worry about your master's orders, and he walks around. Nah, how am I gonna punish them? And she, like, Astrea smiles, and she's like, thank you for praising me like that. And she remembers back to when, like, Tomoki told her to make her own decisions. And she's like, am I useful? Am I useless? The only one who can decide that is me.
Yeah!
This is an awesome Astrea page.
Fuck yeah.
And we flip over to the next page. She's like, your older sister will definitely come to rescue you, Chaos. And we see Chaos again at the Mariana Trench. She's like, I have to quickly become a good girl. And she laughs. And
she's moved on from mere fish to mutilating sharks, as we can see.
Nice, yeah.
And yet she still hasn't grown up.
What a shock. How strange.
Where's the fish power up? I've been waiting for this.
Exactly. Anyways, so what do you think of this chapter?
I love it. I really like this chapter a lot. It's really good character development for Astrea, who's kind of had none for a while.
Right.
And I like that she sort of becomes like the central focus out of the three Angeloids in the last couple of arcs, because she needed it the most out of all of them.
That's fair.
It's just really cute and funny. And yeah, it is still a little bit of autopilot, like misunderstanding happens, they fight, but it's still different enough because of the inclusion of oregano and because it actually goes somewhere.
Right.
Instead of just like the usual like transition out, now serious moment. It like very naturally transitions into Astrea developing and growing as a person, and I love it a lot. Granted, I'm biased because Astrea is my favorite of the main three, but I love this chapter a lot.
Fair enough. I admit I was kind of feeling like a bit of a tedium at the start when I was describing a chapter. I was like, anyway, so they start off at the river, and then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. So there was definitely a bit of like Minazuki autopilot comedy here. But I do like Oregano's backstory. It does seem kind of awkwardly jammed into the middle of an otherwise unrelated Astrea chapter. But I guess there was never going to be an opportunity to like expand upon it after this point.
Yeah, so. It never would have worked otherwise.
So you got to fit it in wherever you can. That might have worked as a bonus chapter.
Maybe, yeah, but there are, spoiler alert, there are no bonus chapters from this point on.
Yeah. Anyways, so that does kind of feel like it comes out of nowhere. But then, yeah, I like the Astrea bits at the end, and yeah. Do I have any special notes about the chapter? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
Cool.
It was a solid Astrea character development chapter.
I would agree. Just one sec real quick. Before I start reading the next one, I need to let my cat in because she is scratching at my window.
Fair enough. Of course, I think it's the kind of person who would own a cat. This makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It's evil and violent just like he is. Like I said earlier, this like full page shot of Astrea is pretty damn badass. Like I'm not even a huge fan of her character, and even I have to be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. The searing intensity of her eyes is what does it for me. This is great. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
So now, chapter 61.
Chops. Great name. So we open with Sohara. She's overslept doing her anime girl thing. We get to see her fucking boobs because
I think it's interesting that Sohara is the one who oversleeps now.
It's specifically because she doesn't have to wake up for Tomoki.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, which is a little sad, but whatever. Basic bitch problems. So, she looks out and she sees the orange tree in their yard. Don't know why it's translated as tangerine. I don't know what.
I don't know what Fool Rules is smoking.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was the original translations that were Fool Rules, but I'm pretty sure it was an orange tree because I think it even said that in the anime. But anyway.
No clue.
So she remembers, like, back then, her backstory of Tomoki, how he planted that tree because now the fruit is ripe. But as she thinks to herself, as she sees Tomoki walking out with all the Angeloids, I really like this shot of them, like, all kind of semi-chibi.
This is a bizarre shot. Like, I like it, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's not what they usually look like when chibi.
This is a very different art. Like, this is very, like you said, like half chibi. Like, his Astrea is like tall and lanky, so it's like a Code Geass character.
Yeah, like normally we see that sort of chibi for like Sugata.
Yeah.
But not for the others, so it's a little weird, but I like it.
Like Ikaros and Nymph aren't that different, but they are like subtly different too.
Yeah. But anyway,
this looks strange.
Sohara is getting a little sad because she's realizing that he's kind of like moving on and making new friends. But we cut to Ikaros getting groped, which is immediately a red flag because, as we all know, Tomoki wouldn't do
that never happens. Yeah, exactly.
Which I love because it immediately sets off in your head that something's wrong. And then Astrea gets groped, and Sora is like, "Oh, I see. He doesn't care who it is that he gropes these days." So as she steps up to stop, we see it is not Tomoki, but it is his mother, Tomoyo, who has returned. Because as we established, Tomoki would never do that.
Yeah.
We get this really cute picture of like Sohara helping to get Tomoki dressed. I think it's adorable. But anyway,
that is cute. Yeah.
Yeah. So we cut to the school. Once again, Ikaros is using a card to fucking mindfuck their poor science teacher.
I know, right?
I feel so bad. What does that feel like? Because this poor man goes psychotic.
I know. I don't want to know what it feels like.
I thought you liked mind control porn.
When it's done to like girls, not me.
Oh, okay. I see. You're just a fucking creep. Good to know.
Yes.
Anyway, so
did you only just now figure that out?
No, but it's nice to have it live on air.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so I love that he's slamming his own face into the desk. What this poor man. But as he commits the horrible acts of self-harm, he says, "This is our new transfer student, Sakurai Tomoyo." And she's like, "I'm Sakurai Tomoyo, 14 years old. Kiarun?" And Tomoki, I love that he's immediately, kill me. And then once again, he asks, "Where's Dad?" And instead of just, "I forgot him," she says, "I buried him somewhere."
I love the hearts. Like, I buried him somewhere. Hearts.
Oh, I buried him somewhere. Like, trying to be all cute.
Yeah.
And Tomoki's like, what? Why are you even here? And she very nonchalantly says, "I came to find you a wife." I like that.
Freudian slip there, I say.
I like that her finger has a face on it, like Tomoko does.
Oh, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And Tomoki's just like, "What?" And so Tomoyo walks over to Sohara and she says, "So which girls like Tomoki?" And of course she gets all flustered because she does. And Tomoki comes over, which is a nice little bit of continuity from that previous chapter with Astrea, where he goes, "I don't give a shit about love or hate." And she goes, "You don't care? Are you kidding me?" And she slaps him across the face. And she says, "You who looks down on love, listen well, Tomoki. Love is when, even if you grope a girl's boobs, they don't get angry with you." And Tomoki,
"Nani?
What did you say?"
Yeah, exactly.
And he fucking clenches his fist. He's like sweating dramatically, and he's all like, "I can't delay this any longer. I absolutely have to find a girl who loves me." And as he runs off, I love that his little fucking like cowlick hair thing. What are they called? A hoge? Yeah, his little hoge is twisted to be
his Aragi antenna hair.
Yeah. As he runs off to find a girl that likes him. So just like in the love or hate chapter from before.
I do like that it's a heart.
Yeah. Just as in the previous love or hate chapter, like it's almost verbatim the same. He goes and he gropes a girl and he's like, "Hey, do you like me?" And they fucking hit him and tell him to die. So he keeps trying with all the girls going crazy throughout the school until finally he comes. I love that it devolves too. Like he goes from "Do you like me?" to just "Do you love me?" Boobs, boobs, boobs. Let me grope your boobs. Until finally.
So now Hiyori's being targeted. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes across Hiyori and he's like, "Let me grope your boobs." And she goes, "Sure."
You said gross instead of grope. Again, a very Freudian slip.
Yeah, because I saw Hiyori and that was my first reaction. But she just goes, "Sure." And both Tomoki and Sohara freeze. And he's like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, I know Sakurai-kun enjoys doing that sort of thing, but if I let you grope me, would you go out with me?" And he freezes up. And he goes,
bursts into a cold sweat.
Maybe next time. And he leaves. Which I find very funny that Tomoki was willing to wife up. But when she's like, "Would you date me?" He's like, hard pass.
I actually really like that he's so concerned with like the idea of getting to like grope some chick's boobs, but then like the second like commitment enters the picture, or it's not even commitment because like before he already lays out in terms and conditions, he's already like frozen in his tracks. I think he's just like so not used to like people like acting that way that it just throws him for a complete loop.
No, that's what I like. Like even before with Mikako, like early on in the manga when they were in the spa together, when she was like, "Oh, I'm fine if you want to bathe with me," he was like dumbstruck because he's such a fucking retarded perv that when a girl like actually likes him, he basically has the panic attack, and
He's such an incel.
Yeah. I will say this is the one little bit of Hiyori that I like though.
Yeah,
that she's like so upfront with her feelings.
Absolutely.
It is just very refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, both in the context of this anime, where none of the Angeloids can just fucking like spit out a sentence, and in the context of anime as a whole, where that is also the case.
Yeah,
it is refreshing to be like a girl, like, sure, if you want to grow up, maybe my guest, but we have to go on a date for that. To see the anime main character so unused to this level of like, brazenness and like, sure, what the hell? I do like that.
Yeah. But of course this upsets Sahara like usual. Hiyori always just makes everyone else miserable because she's a garbage character. But she thinks to herself.
She makes Chaos cry later.
What that's true.
Person.
Terrible. But Sahara thinks like, Hiyori's only known Tomoki for like a year. I've grown up with him all my life and I haven't made any progress with confessing to him. And she starts like breaking down and crying over it. Meanwhile,
it's little like young Tomoki and Sahara thing's cute.
Oh yeah, it's adorable. I actually like their relationship a lot, if you ask me. But that's
I am far less inclined to like it. Even I have to admit that's pretty damn cute.
Yeah, but anyway, so she starts hearing a noise coming from the court. Walks out in front. And she sees Tomio walking out with a fucking stroller with Tomoki inside as she cries and pleads with the crowd. Everyone, please love my son. Love this son of mine, please. As they throw shit at him. And he goes around like, hey, do you love me? Do you love me? While they fucking beat him to death until eventually he just goes, love me, please. And he's left there beaten and alone. And then finally, Sahara even thinks to herself, like, you should just fucking date Hiyori at this point. And she kneels down and she's like, are you okay? And finally, Tomoki asks, Sahara, do you love me? And of course, she gets super embarrassed. So he asks her again, do you love me, Sahara? And she thinks over this and she thinks back on all their memories together. Growing up, I really love these pages of them walking by like the cherry blossom tree, like as kids and then as teenagers.
That is, and
finally,
really cute.
Finally, in this very cute double page spread, Sahara finally confesses that yes, she loves Tomoki. And another great turn the page gag from Minazuki. We see that he already fucking moved on and is groping two other girls. And
like, says, what? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, what'd you say? And she, the fucking God, I can't get over her stupid little dots every time they're there. I fucking lose my mind.
It is really funny.
And then Tomoki stops and he says, I've realized I don't care about things like love or hate because when girls get angry at me for groping them, I actually like it. And then his mom's like, what? To think that my son has become such a man. And so
a man of this caliber. It reminds me of the anime. I'm like, could this be one of my people? Like,
and so they literally trample over Sahara to grope some more girls. And we see Tomoki's dad. What's his name? Sutsume. So whatever.
I don't remember.
I like
he's in
that
like 10 pages of the manga total. I don't remember his name.
I like that you can see he was literally buried as there is still fucking dirt on him.
And plants, yeah.
And he holds out his hand to Sahara. The two nod, and then they just walk up to Tomoki.
This character is like a weird combination of Sukuta and Tomoki.
Right? And he just walks up to them, and they simply say, die. And fucking chop the shit out of them. I love how friendly he looks though when he's not like in his karate chop mode.
Killing Tomoyo, yeah.
Yeah, he has their fucking all tied up and he's like, and so we're going on holiday again. And then Sahara's like, again? You guys literally just got back. And then he realizes, well, even when we come back home, she just fucking ditches me anyway. So I'm thinking we'll go to some foreign country where there aren't any young boys or girls around at all, which I like. As
like
all
where?
Of them, yeah.
Antarctica?
I wouldn't be surprised because they said that they'd been to war zones before.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, before
a place
he leaves,
further than the universe, SNO edition.
A
continent further than the universe.
Goes to Synapse with her.
Yeah, exactly.
But before he leaves, he leans in and whispers in Sahara's ear, there's a lot of girls around Tomoki these days, but which ones love him? And Sahara blushes, and unlike everyone else, he immediately takes the hint. Mm-hmm. And he goes, when I was your age, I was in the same...
Has there ever been a Minazuki character so good at reading the atmosphere?
God, what? God damn it. I do like the mental image that like Tomoyo is just like surrounded by fucking people trying to fuck her constantly. But he's all like, don't worry, Sahara. Tomoki's exactly the same as his mother. And that includes the same sort of partner that suits him, right? He says
as he like, chops her to make his point.
Yeah, to make his point. But of course, Sahara still doesn't understand. But we get this very cute double page spread of her.
This is probably the cutest page of Sahara in the entire manga.
I was going to say, yeah, like her big eyes like really set up. I didn't mean to make it sound that. I mean to make it sound that way. Genuinely, man.
Sure, whatever.
You can't look her. You can barely see her boobs. I meant her eyes. Like genuinely, like they look. Shut up!
It was the pause that did it. It was the pause.
It's because I realized how it was going to sound. Eyes. Whatever. So Toki's parents fuck off and are never seen again. Sahara looks out to like the fucking tree and like thinks over his words, like trying to figure out what he means. Suddenly the rule's there and it looks fucking cool as shit, as always. And finally we see some other angels.
Oh, hey, look, it's chapter at a point after all.
Fuck off. They're getting beaten up by Minos, and they're like, what was that for? And he's like, tell me again. What did you just say? And they're like, nothing really. We're just sick of being alive. We just want to go.
They do not say sick of being alive. They are not incels. They're not Elliot Rodgers.
We know what they mean, though. Like they say, we're sick of being awake, but we know what they mean. Right, and he's like, we just want to go to sleep like the rest of Synapse. Can't you just let us go and sleep? And he says, sure. Go and sleep.
I do love this like extreme close up of his mouth, though.
Just mouth and nose, because we're never going to fucking see his eyes.
Yeah.
And he goes, sure. Go and sleep. Forever! And he fucking pulls out Poseidon, and it looks cool as shit.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. By the way, I mentioned this before.
Have we gone over? Yeah, I was going to say.
I mentioned it once before. But Minos' weapon, Poseidon, comes from a previous manga by Minazuki's called Seven Ocean, which he unfortunately had to cancel. Poseidon was the weapon of both the protagonist and antagonist of that series. So the fact that Minos, I was going to say Minazuki, Minos has it in this is a really cool reference and could potentially like add some connective lore. But either way, it's just a really cool design, and I'm glad that he gave it to Minos because it is really fitting, even with its name. But the Harpies are like, stay your hand, master! And they hold him back from fucking murdering people. So they run away for their lives. And immediately he just says, hurry up and attack the Earth. Go destroy the Uranus Queen. He's in a bad fucking mood. And the Harpies are like, but she's evolved. We literally do not stand a chance. They go,
we don't stand a ghost of a chance. there are way too many Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge references on the screen.
I said a ghost
of a chance.
The SnO Tashimono live stream where we talk about everything but SnO Tashimono.
Pretty much.
But anyway, he simply grins and he goes, what are you saying? You're my angeloids. Entertaining me is the sole purpose of your existence. Gamma, begin the attack. This is an order. It's a good thing this isn't the English dub, because if he said Gamma, it would have only meant one of
them. Don't remind me of that.
That was the stupidest fucking most worthless change.
I'm just imagining. Okay, in my head now that you put that in there, you remember that scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender? It's like in the final episode where Azula's going fucking crazy and she like fires one of the twins. She's like, Lee, you're fired. Ming, you can stay. And then like they go like, but I'm Ming, so which one of us is fired? Like, all right. So he's like, Gamma, begin the attack on the surface. Like, which one of us does he mean? That's what I'm thinking of.
But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the chapter. So your thoughts on this? I know I'm probably gonna like it more than you.
Oh, absolutely. I still don't like Tomoki's parents.
I like them. I think they're cute.
Whatever. I still think Sahara is the worst girl. And so a chapter focusing on Tomoki's parents and Sahara was never going to be a winner for me.
Whatever. Also,
and the only part that I give a shit about is the last like 5 pages again.
Whatever. I think they're cute. I think that while they definitely can't fucking carry a chapter, they don't overstay their welcome. And I don't know. I really like Tomoki's dad for some reason. And I was right. His name is Tsutsumi. He's just such a sweetheart and like doing his best to be a responsible parent while his wife is just the fucking worst human being that ever exists. I find that like a very charming dynamic. But I get it. It's definitely not like a phenomenal chapter, and Sohara chapters in general are usually kind of boring because I like Sohara, but she is on her own not a great character. She has great chemistry with people. Like I love how she's like so supportive of the Angeloids, and like her bickering with Tomoki can be funny. I always love her stupid cooking and how she sucks at English. But she certainly can't fucking carry a chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fine chapter. I like it. I like it more than you, that's for sure. But it's definitely it definitely doesn't do much for this arc, like this little in between arc. Doesn't do much to sell it. But it's okay.
It's like because spoilers, there's going to be some shit with Sahara later. It almost feels like, or no, you know what it feels like? It feels like when To Love Ru was ending, and so like 20, 30 chapters before it actually ended, there was this like incredibly obvious compulsion to have a filler chapter with like each of the girls in the show, just give them like one last hurrah before the thing ended. This does feel like, the last like comedy chapter focusing on Sahara because the manga is going to end soon.
Only it's not the last one, as we'll see next stream. And that one's probably better than this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on to volume 6, before we move on to volume 16 and do the Harpy shit, let's do those bonus chapters.
Okay. So yes, surprise, we're doing bonus chapters this time that we didn't let anyone know about.
I mean, we brought it up briefly last stream, but I'm sure most people forgot. So there are like no more extra chapters until the final volume of the manga. Like Minazuki just didn't have time for them, and they wouldn't really fit anyway. But there were 2 extra chapters that came out around this time that weren't published in Sora no Atashimono, but were Sora no Atashimono crossovers.
Dun, dun, dun.
As we touched on with like last volume where there was that big crossover between all of Minazuki's series, he also did mini individual crossovers, one with Judas and one with My Messiah. So we're going to do those now.
Yep. Yes, we are. I'm just rearranging it so it's decent on stream.
For sure. Yeah, so we're reading Tomodas first. The fucking stupidest name ever, but I love it.
Yes. So am I doing this one?
So,
or
I feel like I kind of have to because you.
I was going to say you have a much higher affinity with Judas and bullshit. So it feels like me reading.
I feel
like I would undersell it because I don't get any of it.
You would, and me explaining it will help you understand why this is so great. So this chapter, for those who don't know,
starts off at a strip club.
Yes, but for those who don't know, this is the second to last chapter of Judas. This scene is taken verbatim from the second to last chapter. Basically before Judas and Zero's final confrontation, before the end of the world, where they're about to fight to the death. They go to a strip club together.
Funny how Minazuki's mangas end that way. Right?
So because they're bros, or they were tight at one point, they go to a strip club together, and they have an argument over whether...
That's also what I was thinking of.
They have an argument over whether big tits or big ass is better. So it's me and Sai. essentially. Yeah. Judas being the wise man, and I will verbatim. By the way, I translated both of these. I suppose I should throw that out there. These were done by me. You're welcome. So I kept the dialogue.
If Isaiah didn't exist, you would never have known what they were saying.
Yep. So for this part, the dialogue is verbatim from what it was from Judas. So I will read this because I do like these lines very much. As they look upon the strippers, Judas, being the man of culture, says, "Now that hits the spot. Oh, yeah. Nothing beats a big pair of tits. The valley in between them is like that moment of respite in a life full of steep mountains and uphill battles. Ah, just soak it in, boy." And Zero, being a far more uncultured man, responds, "What a pansy
Despite being in all the culture festivals."
Fuck. He says, "What a pansy ass you are. Everybody knows it's all about a chick's ass. Just as the deepest, darkest, smelliest pitfall." God, why do you have to say smelliest? Smelliest pitfall can be lurking at the bottom of a gently sloping hill. Life's full of dangers, homie, and that's what makes ass so good." And the two of them say, "You just don't get it." And we reveal that, unlike in Judas, Tomoki is standing right in front of them, saying, "You're complete fools! Fools, I say!" And he's wearing like a fucking Judas outfit, like dressed like a barbarian, which I love.
Yeah, he's dressed like a bounty hunter.
Yeah, as he fucking berates them, like, arguing over things like breasts and ass like a pair of children. These days, you young men describe women with such filthy words upon merely seeing them. Next time, think real carefully before you go flapping your lips. By the way,
I also like that he's drinking cola.
Cola, yeah, just like in the previous chapter.
Stupid running joke. Yeah.
And Judas just says, "Hey there," as Eve announces, "Judas, a bunch of strange people came from out of nowhere." And
I like they're walking out of the dive game transport. That's funny.
Yeah, and there's Matthew and what's her name? I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's the scientist girl. I'll just call her Dr. Simon right now because she takes Simon's place. So she says, "What's your deal?" And then Tomoki very blatantly breaks the fourth wall and says, "Well, they released new editions of Judas and SnO Atashimono, so we're trying to fucking make as much money off of it as possible." And since this is the second to last chapter, he even acknowledges, like, this is probably the only time I'll have to see you guys before your world ends, so... and then he just goes, "Anyway, what's up?" And he reaches over to grab Eve's chest. And immediately he realizes something is wrong, because... for those of you who haven't read Judas, Eve... is I want to read Judas. Should I not watch last year? There's minor spoilers. This won't spoil like the ending of Judas, just minor plot points. So if you want to mute until we're done.
I mean, if you consider fucking the Minazuki's manga like ends in like the world being destroyed a spoiler, then yes, but like you can pretty much just
that happens in fucking all of his manga. Yeah.
So it's not much of a spoiler.
Yeah, I'll avoid any major spoilers. But anyway, Tomoki gropes Eve's chest and realizes something is immediately wrong. And Judas says, well, it's because she used to be a man. For those who don't know, I said no spoilers. I said no spoilers, but basically, Eve is basically trans, except like magic bullshit caused it. That's the non-spoilery way I can say it.
Okay, fair enough.
Before, Eve was a cross-dresser, but now she's
Was her name Adam before?
No, I wish.
Oh.
Her name was always Eve. But anyway, Judas goes, it's because she used to be a man. And he gropes Nymph's chest. And he goes, wait, what the hell? She's the same? And then Tomoki, what I love, he says, well, I think she's a woman. And Judas goes, but doesn't she seem just a bit too flat? And Tomoki gets his fucking iconic, like, serious-ass smile. Every time he makes this face, I lose my mind. And he goes, yeah, she is, right? And Judas repeats, isn't she a bit too flat? And Tomoki goes, she is, right? And then Nif just punches the both of them.
Boom!
And so he goes over to the other girl, Doctor whatever. I'll just call her Simon, like I said. And he gropes her tits, and he's like, this will remove that bad taste from my mouth. And she just goes, Kya! And she like pulls away from him. And she's like, how could you do that? And Tomoki freezes. And he fucking starts he starts crying. And he's like, I haven't been sent flying. She didn't chop me or shoot me. What is this pure
shoot me
reaction?
With a missile. I think shoot me with a missile makes it funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And meanwhile, Judas is fucking complaining to Zero, like, how come his world is full of so many hot babes?
Why
And so
can't
Mika,
our manga be a harem?
yeah. So Mika goes, why don't you two just trade places? And then Tomoki goes, yeah, I'd love to see more people of this world. Meanwhile, fucking Peter comes from behind him, and because he's supposed to be fighting Judas at this point. And he goes, let's settle this once and for all. A battle 2,000 years in the making. And he fucking punches Tomoki in the face and immediately fucking murders him. And we end with the screen that says, Tomoki annihilated!
He's gone, reduced to atoms.
Fuck! He even kind of looks like Thanos.
Yeah, he does.
And then we end with the fucking Judas logo, but changed to Tomodas, which I really like. Do you have any thoughts on this chapter? I imagine it's hard. You haven't.
Yeah, no, I don't fucking. My one thought is that like it reminds me. I keep going back to this. I'm sorry, but I've been playing. I finished playing God Hand recently, and so like specifically Judas like sitting here like drinking wine or whatever, like talking about like tits and asses, or specifically doing that like at a strip club reminds me of the scene in the game where you fight Shen and the demon girl. And like, there's a scene where the main character pulls a chair and like a glass of wine from out of like hammer space, and like sits as the demon girl does like a pole dance. So that's the one thing that came to mind when it's like, hey, this is very similar to that scene in God Hand. Other than that, like this is mostly gibberish to me. I mean, the best part is Tomoki saying like, she didn't shot me or shoot me with a missile. I don't know how to deal with this. I quite like that. Other than that, it was like a 7-page manga. There's not a lot to say about it.
Yeah. For a Judas fan, this chapter's fucking great. So to come from my perspective, because like I said, it literally takes like in the second to last chapter of Judas. So like seeing it is like, oh my god, this is that, and then it's just like a great crossover. Like that's the most I can say. It's just really fucking good. It's like the logical conclusion of what would happen if all these characters came together. But yeah, it's not much more I can say about it. Read Judas. It's one of Minazuki's only other. You can track down a physical copy if you want, but that'll be hard. But Viz actually got the license from Tokyo Pop, and they are now republishing it in digital. It's like $5 a volume. So I really recommend giving it a read. It's not as good as SnO and Tashimono, not by a long shot, but it's still very enjoyable. Nice. And it's cool. It's cool to see how far he's come. But next we have the My Messiah crossover. Definitely
more characters I don't know about.
Yeah, so definitely read My Messiah. My Messiah is, I would say, Minazuki's second best manga next to SnO and Tashimono. It's like Plunderer? I would say in terms of writing, yes. In terms of art, fuck no. That's the one thing about reading My Messiah is that because it was Minazuki's first manga all the way back in 2002, when it starts, it looks like fucking crap. Like there's no nice way I can put this. If you thought early SNO looks rough, it looks like a how to draw manga book. That's what it looks like. Yeah. That's the best way I can put it. It looks like a Westerner who didn't know how to draw manga was trying to teach someone how to draw manga. But the characters and writing in it are really good. It's got really great world building, and it has the best villains in any of Minazuki's series. Like Minos is great because he's just such a fucking like cocksucker, but in terms of like really deep villains and like antagonists that you almost want to root
chaos
for.
Cough.
Okay, whatever. I mean, fuck, whatever. I'm just saying, I can't even say their names because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't read it. But please do give it a read. It hasn't been published officially in English, but the entire manga can be read off like any manga site. It's worth a shot. I really love it. But anyway, we open up with Haruna, the main girl from My Messiah, saying, Shinya, this is serious. The Earth is about to be destroyed by another dark parallel world. For context, this isn't a spoiler, but like My Messiah takes place in like this world called Celestia, which is like a parallel world to Earth. But the two are like starting
like My Little Pony world exists in.
Yeah, whatever. The two worlds are like starting to merge together and collide, and so Shinya was chosen to be the Messiah of Celestia. to save it and protect both worlds. And so now this takes place after the end of it, where they're saying like another world is about to merge with our own and it'll destroy it. So they're like, oh, back to the grind.
And Tomoki with glasses, young Sohora, the bully girl, and Oregano are all very concerned about this.
Yes. So the characters here, the one in the your favorite. If you ever read My Messiah, do you see the blonde chick with the hair buns?
Yeah.
She's going to be your favorite. She's just Nymph. She's the original Nymph, and she's really likable. The girl on the right with like the missile, that's Miyu. The girl on the bottom right
is Oregano.
No, that's Taru. She acts just like Oregano, so you're not wrong. Like she acts verbatim like Oregano. Girl in the back with the black hair is Hime. Girl with the blonde hair is Lilu. She's best girl. And then girl on the left with the dark hair is Aina. And then the guy with the glasses is Shinya. He's Tomoki. The main character. Yeah, he's just Tomoki with glasses, or Tsutsumi, I suppose, or the main character from Go Dairy by Shoujo. They look identical.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, it's probably a better comparison.
Because Minazuki can't draw more than 5 characters.
Yes, as we have established.
He's the greatest mangaka ever, but he's also
terrible.
So they go through the portal, and on the other side, they see Ikaros, Nymph, and Tomoki at a table as he's watching porn while they're eating.
This had to be like around like the 20s or 30s, right? Because the art style doesn't look like it's past that of like SNO.
This was like 30s to 40s, I believe.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly when the My Messiah books got published, but it wasn't far into SNO. It was like, it was around the time the first anime came out. So yeah, like 30s.
Fair enough.
But anyway, so Tomoki turns and looks around at them, and he's like, "Who the hell are all you people?" And Ikaros, once again, like in the previous chapter, breaks the fourth wall and says, like, "Go buy SnO Tashimono
now on sale at your local retailer." That's really cute.
Yeah. So immediately Hime freaks out and starts fucking destroying everything in his house. She's like, "What an improper world this is!" Is Tomoki like begs her, begs her to stop. Like, young men like me can't survive without this. And he says, like, you, pointing to Shinya, like, help me, you're a man, aren't you? And because Shinya is the fucking soyest of soy boys, he's just like, huh? But that's another thing about My Messiah. Shinya is super passive main character, so if you don't like those, it'll take
God, he even looks like Yuji. Like
he's very passive, but
he's a good just like boy. The most boring fucking shonen or like anime character ever.
He's likable, but he can be whiny. He's very much like a 90s era like Shinji type character where he's like, I don't want to fight. I have no sex drive. But anyway,
it's so weird seeing that like in contrast to Tomoki. Like,
no, yeah, that's what's so great. They're like literally the opposite of each other. But anyway, Tomoki decides like he has to show him how to be a man. So he shirt and he's like, things like this. Do you understand? And he like flips Estrea's skirt and he's like, we do things like this. You get it? And then I can't remember any of their fucking names. All I know is the middle guy's the
Body King. Improvement Club from Mob Psycho 100.
But the pervert from My Messiah shows up and he's like, I understand. He's a very likable character. I can't remember his name, but I know he's the Spear King. That's the title he gets. But anyway, so he's all like, in other words, things like this, right? And he starts groping Hime. And then Tomoki's like, yeah, you get it. Stuff like this. And he grabs Nymph's non-existent ass.
Lies.
It looks small in this panel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're all just fucking around and like flipping the skirts of all the characters.
Like we said, this is like 20s, 30s SNO. He had not yet perfected Nymph's like god tier ass.
Posterior,
so yeah. We'll forgive him for that.
And then they're stopped by Hime, who steps on them. And one of the guys is like, oh, things like this, right? And Tomoki goes, no, this is wrong. Wait, I think I kind of like this. Because as it's been established in Sorno Tashimono, when he became the fucking floor, he enjoys being
when he became the fucking floor.
And then Taru comes along and murders all of them, as she does, with her like poisonous food. And she goes, and so the story advances. And then keeping up with the fourth wall breaking, Tomoki's like, I get it. We just have to progress the story to make you all leave. And Tsukuda's like, but how do we do that? And he's like, you two, you're the two main female characters, right? Don't mingle amongst yourselves. And Ikaru's like, understood. And because Haruna is like the most boring fucking character ever, she's just like Haruna. Like, here's the thing: I'm complimenting the shit out of
You're not selling My Messiah very well.
My Messiah is really good, but it's the two main characters aren't the best people in it. It's like all the side characters that really carry it. So Haruna's all like,
what if there was a manga where everyone was Sahara?
It's not that bad. But anyway, she's all like,
she does seem like Hiyori in this fucking chapter, though.
She is very much like Hiyori. Nice. Only she gets called out for doing bad things, so she actually has a character arc. Yeah, she's kind of a shit person, which I like. Like, it's kind of like how Hiyori was like trying to hide her true self. Haruna also did. Only Haruna actually a shit person, so it's cool. And then she gets repercussion for her actions, which I like.
Nice.
But anyway. So she's just making fucking horrible small talk while Ikaros sits there. She sips tea. Ikaros is fucking with her toy. Tomoki flips the coffee table of the heart once again as he realizes, like, how are we going to fucking progress the story if you two can't even talk? So he stomps on the fucking ground and he's like, all right, this isn't working. It comes down to us main characters, right? And Shinju's just like, what did I do? Mikako just comes around like
again
fucking,
stirring shit.
Yeah, well, this is a shonen magazine, so that means we have to, right? Tomoki's like, that must be it. And because Shinya's a fucking god, he fucking summons number 3 Lightning Lord and gets a fucking thunder sword, while Tomoki dresses up like Mask Dupants. He's all like, let's do this. And then he very quickly realizes there's no way I can win, is there? And Shinya just says, here I go, and fucking murders him. And Tomoki gets up, half dead, and begs him, please go back where you came from. I like that you can see like his little like bruises on his head go flying off as he like lifts his head.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but yeah, you're right.
But Tomoki finally asks, like, why did you guys even come here? And then Haruna says, well, this world is somehow merging and destroying with our own. And Tomoki says, Nymph, can you find out what the cause is? And she goes, okay. So she scans the house and she says, well, it seems that overwhelmingly high level of eroticism that fills the house is the cause. So
and do you think that's actually the cause, or you think she's lying through her teeth?
I wouldn't be surprised if Nymph just was fucking around.
Yeah.
But Aina, being the robot of the group, is like, I see. So if we destroy this house, the world will be saved.
I actually unironically thought that was Sahara until you said something.
Yeah, she's just like,
hey, we can't tell who anyone is. They all look the fucking same.
So fucking, they all get into like their battle mode, and is that so? All we got to do is destroy the house. By the way, if you couldn't tell that Lilu was the Nymph character before, you can now with her hips. But Tomoki's like, hey, wait on a second. And Ikaros is like, if that's the case, allow us to help you. I really like that Nymph is like cracking her knuckles there. That's not a pose we'd normally see.
That is really cute. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's a great.
It's cool. Yeah, Tomoki's like begging them, like, guys, wait, listen to me, please wait. And they fucking blow up his house. And what I like is that in an inverse,
it's the exact same blow up thing from the other bonus chapter.
What I like is that as opposed to saying Tomoki annihilated, this one says Tomoki's house annihilated.
Yeah, it's the exact same one as in the Tomodas thing. But yeah.
Yeah, which I love. So yeah, that is. Oh, hey, Upward Flight. Thank you for joining us, man. Stealth logging in at work. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, you can always watch the VOD. I'm happy to see that you hopped in though to say hi.
Yeah, please don't lose your job over this fucking stupid stream.
Yeah, please don't. But yeah, you have any thoughts on this one? Did you like it more or less than Tomodas?
I liked it more because I more vaguely understood what was happening.
Fair.
And I still don't know any of the fucking characters aside from the SNO ones. So like the constant breaks off were weird. Like I said, this was not the best ad for My Messiah because it does seem like painfully generic off of just like what we can see right here. So if the intended purpose of the chapter in Minazuki's part was like cross-platform promotion, I think it kind of failed in that regard.
Well, it's less of promotion of My Messiah and more of promotion because like these chapters came in My Messiah as did Tomodas came in Judas. It's just a fun crossover to like put the two together and be like, hey, also buy my other work, as Ikaros very bluntly stated.
Right, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it's I like it. Neither of them compared to the SnO Tashimono the movie chapter, where it was just all of his manga. That was the peak. But it's still fun, you know. It's a nice incentive to buy the reprints.
Fair enough.
I think I like Tomodas a little more because of how it like actually like worked it into the story of Judas.
Right.
Where
and it literally happened like a chapter before the final battle.
Yeah, which I love. There's just more like references, whereas here it's just characters in a room. Literally, but
yeah,
I do like the gag of like fucking Haruna and Ikaros are boring as shit, but
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but anyway, they're fine. These will be the last extra chapters we have to get final volume, where those are actual epilogues. So, on to the main event, the Harpy.
So, are you going to read this one? Because you just read 2 chapters in a row. This is also your waifu chapter. So,
2, 3, 4. I am going to read this chapter because I need to make sure I'm the one who's reading 66.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, so chapter opens up. Cute color page. Ikaros is watering her watermelons. All of a sudden, Harpies step out. Uh-oh. Ikaros's radar doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, we made jokes about like when Sugura's infiltrating Synapse and the Harpies can't find him because the fucking tree's in the way. But like the Harpies literally had to walk up to Ikaros for her to be able to tell that they were there. Which again, like they've established that like her Aegis isn't on all the time. She has to be aware to activate it. So like I think they actually got a pretty decent shot of just firing Prometheus from like up high and hitting her and killing her right here.
Yep. I mean, it wouldn't have killed her, but
it would have. She's not evolved right now. Like no, they land like 1 or 2 good shots, she's dead.
But you forget that using Pandora instantly heals.
Does she have time to heal if she's dead already?
It wouldn't have killed her.
I feel her so full of fucking, vaporized matter that like there's not enough systems left to activate Pandora.
Even when they actually shot her before, it couldn't kill her, and that was vanilla Ikaros.
Well, yeah, but that was one shot though, and they got overconfident, like, we did it. If they like actually took it seriously and fired like 8 fucking Prometheuses into her, there's no way. And like all you need is the first one to just like disable her to the point that she can't use Aegis anymore. And after that, it's just like shooting fish in a barrel, basically.
Fair. But anyway, stat page! I love
Stat page!
And it's for the best girls. So we see there are 2 attacks.
I mean, they were built by Minos. He's kind of shit.
Remember the chaos stat page with
like 7 different things on it, and
like question marks. Like more unknown.
Shit.
Fucking Ikaros Milan one where it was like final weapon Apollon. What do they have? So they have the fucking
high fever object compression anti-aircraft gun Prometheus. And S vibrate claw Nemea.
S stands for super, by the way.
Fair enough. What does Nemea do? Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't think they ever use it.
They use it to rip off Nymph's wings.
Were they just using their hands? Like, I don't think they need a bullshit super attack for that.
That is the claw. That's what the claw is.
But I don't see how the claw assists in that. Like
the claw, the claw.
That claw.
You're scared of the claw.
I don't see how
things.
Yeah. I also could have gone like Claw from Inspector Gadget, but whatever. Anyways, I don't see how. I don't see how their fucking just arm muscles weren't enough for that.
Okay, well, whatever. But we can assume that their fucking claw thing can vibrate and tear through shit. Okay. God, whatever. These
are the worst girls. They have a gun. No. They have a gun and sharp nails.
Hey, they also have high altitude wing height.
Sure. Ikaros can go into space. Cool. Does it fucking matter how high altitude you can go?
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck off. Anyway, so we cut back to the stare down between them. The Harpies fucked up their chance to take pot shots at her. As they reflect on Minos' last words to them, that entertaining him is the sole purpose of their existence. But the Harpies say, let's go somewhere without people. Oh, so there was a reason. For some reason,
why do they care? That's not a fucking reason. They don't give a shit.
I don't know. But they're like, let's go somewhere without people. We will destroy you. Come, fight us. And Ikaros basically just says, nah, you're not going to win. And the Harpies go, shut up. And like
I do love this shot of Ikaros though. Like she is like sad and like she does not want to do this, but at the same she's got like a this is at the same time a like sad, depressing shot and like a badass like anime pose sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't want to fight, but if she's
also like badass. Yeah.
Ready. Yeah. Yeah. So the Harpies like say like, if you don't fight us, we're gonna blow up your master. Brett. They do this every chapter.
You cut out. What was that?
Oh, I said that they like go, if you don't fight us, we're gonna blow up your master's house, which really isn't a good threat, seeing as the Angels themselves do that.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. But anyway, Nymph comes out and she's all like, they aren't worth your time. Let me handle this, which is a fucking badass as shit.
Oh yeah. Like her like cold dead eyes that we haven't seen since like the early chapters. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and she goes, I haven't forgotten all the things you did to me back then. While fucking Harpy Jr.'s already fucking panicking because she knows they're fucked. Right, while Harpy Sr.'s like, we'll just destroy both of them. Nymph immediately fucking evolves, which I love.
Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
Smash you to bits!
She's not playing around. She's out for blood.
I don't know why Ikaros even like had to evolve here. That seems overkill.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, if you can, you might as well.
Yeah. But anyway, Tomoki walks out with a fucking fishing rod, and he's like, stop. I love that at this point.
Love this.
Yeah, he's so used to this song and dance that he is incapable of taking it seriously.
Exactly.
Like, Nymph's even like, but Tomoki, these bastards are, and he just goes, stop it.
And her little blush is so cute.
All right. And then he looks back at them and he's like, all right, you two, let's go buy some clothes. Like he's already like prepared to domesticate
he's done this
them.
So many times. Yeah, exactly.
It's such a great like meta thing where he's like,
it is really good. I do like this.
I get it. Yeah, you're gonna come live with me. We're gonna do this spiel. I mean, let's get it over with.
You guys are gonna fall in love with me, and then you'll start, and then you'll dissolve in a background character to occasionally destroy my house and shoot at me. Yeah. I know how it goes.
Yeah, and he's like, and they're even like, oh, we came to fight the Uranus Queen. He's like, yeah, sure. Look, we can do that after you just buy some clothes, okay?
And they're so bewildered that like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck is with this guy? And so they just like follow along because they don't know what to do.
Right. Yeah.
And so they get the best casual outfits out of any Angeloid, as we see in the next chapter.
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Yeah, but goddamn jean shorts, cool belt, tank top, super cool. These fucking chicks are good as shit. I love them. Their designs were tailor made for me. And did I mention how they're like their collars are like chokers, which is way more hot than any of the other Angeloids. Anyway,
tonight the part of Isaiah will be played by a screaming, incoherent man.
Look, you had your nymph moments. This is my time in this one. All right.
It's the law of equivalent exchange.
Speaking of nymph, Harpy Jr. parrots her by saying, these clothes have no protective or stealth value. And Tomoki even says, like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
And Harpy Jr.
That's like, a fun callback. Yeah.
Yeah. And Harpy Jr. is like, you think I can wear something like this? Don't mess with me. Tomoki's all like, well, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. We should have you wear something cuter. So here you go. And he pulls out like a fucking bunny outfit. And Harpy Jr. freaks out. Like, there's no way I'll wear something like that. Even though it like covers the same amount of fucking space.
I made this point in my notes that you dare steal it from me.
I actually didn't see that. That was just an observation I was making.
Yeah, no, like this bunny girl outfit literally covers more of their skin than their actual.
Right,
yes, because it has stockings.
Leggings.
Yes,
stockings. Yeah.
So it actually covers more of their fucking skin than their Angeloid outfits, and yet she has the gall to act embarrassed about this shit. Not to mention their Angeloid outfits have like outlines of their nipples, so like
Yeah. Thankfully, yes, they do. But anyway, Tomoki becomes a fucking kappa for some reason. or fucking
Kappa's in
Koopa
chat
from Mario. Kappa's in the chat, please. Firefox says, "Sai, will you be my friend?"
Aw.
Aw. Wait, you're not going to respond? You're not
Nope.
going to say yes? What the fuck, dude? That's cold.
Yes. No.
What the fuck?
I'll be your friend. I have no clue who he is. Like it reminds me of the line from Megamind.
Firefox, dude. It's like the fucking second most popular browser in the world.
Oh man, you're right. I'm pretty sure their CEO was fired for homophobia at one point, so I don't know how close I want to get to him. It reminds me of the line from Megamind, though, where it's like, "I love you, Metro Man," like, and I love you, random citizen. I fucking love Megamind so much.
Also, Jonathan Johnson, if you're talking about the Harpies clothes, fuck you. I love them. What's that?
There's been a lot of Harpy hate in chat.
Hashtag worst girls. You know what? I will ban someone in the chat. The next person.
That's true. That. Isaiah does have moderator powers. You guys better watch out. I have
moderator powers. Yeah, I will. Don't test me. Also, it seems that the lag from our stream to chat is worse than usual. Sorry about that, guys. I don't think there's much we can do about that.
Yeah, no, my internet's going up and down. Sorry, I'm just hoping that the stream isn't too bad because of that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Blame Time Warner, or whatever they're called now.
Yeah. So he tries to convince Harpy Jr. to wear it. She refuses
because they're on the autism spectrum.
Whatever. So Harpy Sr. just comes out in it, because bless her, and she says, "Will this do?" And they both look on in like shock at her as she simply narrates, like, "It's got a good range of motion, but the ears are a nuisance. Aren't there any other options?" And Harpy Jr. is like trying to reason with her, like, wait, isn't this weird? And she's like, "Why would you be embarrassed over something this stupid?" Like,
which makes sense.
Because yeah, the manga is self-aware, thankfully. So now Tomoki instead brings her like an army uniform or like a
it's a policewoman outfit.
Police woman.
It's like an Officer Jenny type thing.
God damn, she looks fucking smoking. And she's like, "Any others?" And he brings her like a gym outfit. I love that it just has Harpy older on it, as if these clothes were made for her.
I like that through this, the like Harpy Jr. is like getting gradually more into it. Like that's what I think is like interesting about this.
Like she gets less and less concerned as it goes on. Me too. And then she wears like a Cheongsam and then a maid outfit with. She looks so cute. Anyway, and then she just keeps going like next, and then very like menacingly like next. And Tomoki realizes that like because she has no reaction, it's not exciting for him because it's just so bland and casual. So finally he's like, "Well, we were doing a beach chapter again next week, so get ready." Which is funny because it happens, which I like. So he passes her the bikini, and then Harpy Jr. is like, "Oh, it's just one of these. Downers wear them when they go swimming. I guess we could wear those." Like you said, she's like fine with it at this point. But then Harpy Sr. freaks out and gets super flustered. And she's like, "What are you thinking, you pervert? How could I possibly wear something like this?" And Harpy Jr. is like, "But all the clothes up till now were way worse." And then she goes, "Don't be stupid. If I wear something like this, you'll see my belly button, dummy." Fucking cute, flustered ass face. And Harpy Jr. is like,
even I, as someone who's not a fan of Harpy, has to admit this is fucking cute.
It's cute as hell. And Harpy Jr. is like, "Sister, it's just your belly button." But Tomoki, taking advantage of the moment, says, "No, that's exactly right." And you get the fucking like JoJo menacing as he says, I gotta read this right. I'm fucking losing it already. "The uninitiated would go straight for the boobs and butt, but I shall hereby proclaim, girls are not merely boobs and butts. Between them lies something you don't see every day, something that can cause hearts to flutter with a mere glance. The belly button! Normally you can only catch a glimpse when they jump or stretch, but now I won't hold back!" And then he's fucking adorable little chibi Tomoki.
"Would you please try this
on? Please, would you try this on?"
I like that his antenna hair is like wagging like a dog tail. That's cute.
Same. And she's like, stop joking, I'm leaving. And then he's like, I won't let you. And he uses the same transport card from before that made the panties fly. It even has the same like
cuffs
wrist
in it or whatever.
Cuffs, yeah. And it makes her Angeloid uniform fly off, which is kind of weird because it's like her armor, right?
I made notes of this in my fucking thing. Like, this is obviously for a joke, but like this does kind of like go
I
so
will use
far.
my card to take all of Ikaros's armor off. She is now defenseless.
Exactly, yeah. Like, this is a joke and presumably non-canon, but like if you can just do this, then I don't know why the fuck any of the Angeloids bother. I mean, that's kind of the problem with cards in general. Is like usually they're depicted as summoning like low tier synapse technology, but there are some of them like this where you're like, why don't they just like use like 5 different like almost like buffing themselves in like an RPG or an MMO? Like, why don't they just use 5 cards for the start of every battle to like make the enemy like way weaker?
Yeah,
like, if they can make their armor fly off, why don't they just do that like all the time?
Yep.
Anyways, it's obviously for the sake of a joke, and it's presumably non-canon.
I like Joam in the chat. He says, the new continent, it's a girl's belly button, obviously.
Ugh.
If Sugita was here, that's how it would have gone. But anyway. So she hides away in like a dressing room. Tomoki goes through all of them to try and find her. Until finally he comes across Sohara, who's dressing, putting on lingerie. She looks really nice. Just going to throw it out there. Say this is like, fuck off, you're so boring. Anyway.
What a boring man.
Oh, I can't wait for that line.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so he sees Sohara and he stops and he looks down at her. And I love how he just goes, how about you do a nice stretch for him? Before he can even finish, she chops him through the fucking building. I think that's one of the funniest chops in a while because like,
yeah, it's pretty. There is,
and the
it cuts him off, and the impact and violence of it's pretty like well drawn. Yeah, I'll cop to that.
So Sohara gets dressed, and she's like, "Excuse me while I finish him off." And she walks outside. We thankfully get a reveal that Nymph was here. She didn't just fucking abandon him because that would be
stupid. Yeah,
yeah.
I
she was using her. She was using her stealth to watch, and she's all like, "Clothes, huh?" And then the Harpies are like, you followed us here. And she's like, well, duh. I didn't know if you're going to do anything to Tomoki, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
And she's all so she hands them the first clothes that they tried on. And she's all like, oh, you're going with what Tomoki picked first? Oh, they do suit you. And then the Harpies very casually respond, oh, is that so? Before they remember what's happening. She goes, no! We came to fight! Fight us, Beta! And in a really great mature moment from Nymph, she just goes, nah, I'll pass. After all, Tomoki already told us to stop. And the Harpy is like bewildered. And she's like, is it because he ordered you to? And Nymph says, no, Tomoki doesn't give orders. I haven't even imprinted. And then
I love how like casual and like sort of like cynically like beaten down she is in this scene.
Yeah, right. She's just like, it's not fucking happening. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really like that. That's sort of like world weariness.
It's also kind of mature of her though, which I like. And then like Harpy says like, if you haven't imprinted, then why? And Nymph, in a fucking badass retort, says, how about I ask you why you're still following orders from that boring man?
I love that. I fucking love that.
I love that she's been calling him boring since the like Hiyori arc.
Since 55, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I thought she said it when she counter hacked, but I don't think she did. It was
I don't think she. Yeah, it was during the Melon arc.
Yeah, and I love that she still says it. And
she
can't, the Harpy can't answer her, and she like presses. She's like, "Well."
Oh my god, that like cold eye in the bottom right of the page is so good.
Yeah, this is the coldest we've seen Nymph since like the fucking first couple of arcs.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but anyway, Tomoki walks back up with Sohara, and he cuts right to the chase. He's like, "Hey, you guys don't have a place to stay down here. Just come live with us. Whatever." He doesn't even care at this point.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that's not what you promised. You said we could fight after we... And Tomoki's like, well, it's fine just this once, right? So like skip fucking... I really love that he's trying to optimize his like route. It's like someone... he's on New Game Plus at this point, and he's like
pretty
trying
much,
to skip he's speed run. Angeloid speed running.
Exactly.
But the Harpies take off all flustered and all like, what the hell is up with that guy? And that's where the chapter leaves off. So your thoughts on the first chapter of the Harpy arc?
Are my thoughts relevant?
Not as relevant as mine.
I'm going to say this is your show. Like,
oh, it's my show. Well, 10 out of 10 chapter. Cute ass Harpies and cute ass outfits. Super cute. Oh my god. Tomoki's good, funny. Good chapter. 10 out of 10.
He's so excited he switched from living in fucking Canada to New York apparently, or New Jersey or whatever.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. I quite like it. I we'll see this more as like the chapters progress, but I think the Harpies have great chemistry with Tomoki. Like
incredibly.
For being introduced so late, I think both of them like have like, you know, despite the fact that they're twins, like they each have a different dynamic with Tomoki that each is like equally good.
Yeah. Like Junior is like very what's the word I'm looking for? Mischievous and like childish. So she gets along with Tomoki. Whereas Harpy Senior is very like motherly and like attentive to him. Where like she still like freaks out and like, but she's not to the extent of Sohara, where she's more just like flustered. And, like, still like tries to like look after him. It's very cute. But yeah, it's a good chapter. It's just a great way to reintroduce them as well as like show how far Nymph has grown, which I really love.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, I mean, I know you like them, but to me, Nymph is the best part of the chapter still.
Well,
like,
fuck off. Yeah, her shit,
scenes
really,
are great.
Whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next chapter. Make it fast. Let's go.
Well, I have to go to the restroom actually. So,
damn it.
Fortunately for you, yeah. So you, Phil, I'll be right back.
I will attempt to answer questions in the chat while I snack on these crackers, but knowing how delayed the stream is, I'm probably not going to have time to answer any of them. But if it goes fast enough for you guys to ask me whatever while Sai's in the bathroom. I want an entire series of videos of Isaiah reading the entire manga story properly with the dialogue plus voice acting and narrating. Comic story in style. Oh, thanks. I actually wouldn't mind doing something like that. I have a lot of fun. I always wanted to be a voice actor when I was a kid, and I don't think I'm nearly talented enough to do that. But I have thought of like doing little comic dubs or whatever on my channel just for fun. Just as a way to like, I don't know, experiment, be better. So thank you. It does mean a lot to know that you enjoy it.
I return.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Okay, so this is chapter 63.
To answer really quick from Firefox, because Firefox said it's like all the abridged and review guys are up there. Sai is not the only YouTuber I am friends with. If you guys have ever watched a video by Mother's Basement, I know him quite well. We hang out every few months. I help on some of his occasional podcasts, which have more or less died, so I don't do that much for him anymore. But I've also met one of the guys from Dragon Ball Abridged and both of the guys from Sword Art Online Abridged. They're really great, and
Nice.
they're all really wonderful people, and they're very funny guys, and I always enjoy getting to hang out with them.
Does that include like Bubble Monkey or whoever voices Asuna?
No.
Okay, just like the creative writing
the
stuff.
guy, yeah.
Fair
like
enough.
the guy who voices Kirito, you know, the one that you get compared to.
Who sounds like me, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I told him when I met him. That like, but yeah. Let's see other things in the chat real quick. I'll leave now. Have fun. I'll see you, Light. It was great having you here. Jonathan, do you think Harpies need bigger breasts than the size of Astrea? No. I love big boobs, but they're fine where they are. Isaiah, will you bear my child? Thank you, Daniel. But I if I haven't made it clear, I am very loyal to the Harpies. Please
Okay.
do. I can't.
Let's fuck off
What's
when
your
the child's
favorite color? Blue.
Me too, actually. Anyways, point being, so the Harpies are like fucking off on a tree. Like, how are we going to destroy the Uranus Queen? We can't beat her face to face. She got that all-range Aegis, so sniping from the sky won't do any good, which I don't believe. Like, if she didn't see it coming, there's no fucking way. Looks like there's no other choice. We'll have to take our master hostage, which is a depressingly common thread with Angeloid plans. As they think about this and think about his happy face, and they consider the idea of having to kidnap him, Tomoki appears and goes, "Hey, I go, you bastard! What are you here for?" He's the beach. I told you last chapter we're going to the beach. You coming? Is this some kind of joke? Why the hell should we go to the beach with you? And Harpy Jr.'s like,
for the third
what?
season.
Yeah. It's like, what? The beach? Yay, the ocean! I've always wanted to see the sea. Which is a weird sentence. Let's go! Come on, sister! And then, so yes, they have now been dragged into a fucking beach chapter. I love the sign that says no watermelons allowed after what happened here previously. Like, that's really funny. Just as an opening shot, that's really funny to me.
Right? And I love that it's the same beach house since the start of the manga too.
Yeah.
I really love that Sarami is consistent because it's like, like a small town thing.
Well, I don't think we're in Sarami at this point. Because they have to ride the train to get to the beach.
Oh, right. That's right. But whatever.
Yeah. The world is consistent.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're like trying to get them both changed. So like, hurry up and change, sister. I don't want to wear something like that. And she's like, I'm confiscating these for today. And she takes she loads Prometheus. Okay, so she's saying I'm confiscating the normal outfits. And then she uses Prometheus to shoot the shit out of, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so Harpy Jr. uses Prometheus to blast away the outfit so that Harpy Sr. can't get it. Okay, that's not terribly well communicated, but okay.
I thought it was pretty obvious.
Anyways, so they both run on the beach, and they are wearing cute swimsuits.
Super cute.
Fair enough. Tomoki's like, President, I simply cannot thank you enough. It was due to your generosity we come to such a wonderful place, as he sees the Harpies, whatever. Harpy Jr. is like, wow, the sea. So she has fun with Tomoki, and they splash around for a bit, and Tomoki gropes her, and she like almost gives like a Tomoko reaction, like, yeah, what are you doing, silly? So they splash around for a bit. And,
I love that she doesn't. Yeah, she like doesn't mind that much. Like she like smacks him, but like that's the end of it, and just continues to go back to playing with him.
I think Tomoki immediately goes back to playing with her. He's
like, well, I tried.
Yeah, can't blame the guy for trying. So, anyways, Harpy Senior scolds her, and she's like, "Oh, what's the matter? A little fun never hurt anyone. Like, come on, you come play with us too." And they got a note that, why is she so intent on covering her belly button? And Tomoki's like, I wonder why. Like, interesting. This is a fun page.
I love that
quite
page.
like this. Yeah. So, like, she's like, the stupid sister of mine. And she's like, still plotting. Like, well, once the Uranus Queen will sign her guard, we can. And then she goes, hey, catch. And she, like, serves a volleyball to her. So she's going to have to, like, raise her hands and show her belly button to like protect herself, and they go like, yes, and then she like kicks the shit out of it, makes it explode as the pieces go flying over their faces, which is a fun touch. And then she's like, what are you plotting? And I love how Junior has like totally gotten into the shtick. It's like, the target is surprisingly resilient. I'm like, yes, in that case we got a plan B. Right, she dumps crabs on her. Still doesn't work. She punches away with one hand. Don't worry, we've weakened our defenses. This is our chance, our time to strike. And she like gives two fingers and like claws their eyes out. Kind of proving again how useless her actual claw weapon is if her fingers are that good, but oh well. So again, kicks the shit out of her. Harpy Jr. is like, hey, like, we came to the beach. Don't you want to play for a little bit? She's like, fine. All I need to do is get in the water, right? She just like casually walks out there. Like, am I in deep enough for you now? This is enough, right? But come at me again. This time I'll really gouge them out. They're like, okay. So they decide to leave her alone. But then, like, a wave washes against her. And she realizes that her top came off. And she gets very embarrassed about that. We come back. I don't know why Tomoki lets the angel hit anywhere near the ocean at this point, honestly. He's really just asking for trouble.
As we shall see.
Yeah. So Tomoki's like, hey, what happened? As he like comes to help. And she's like, oh, nothing, stay away. He's like, nothing at all? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh, don't come near me. And then all the rest from color back from the shore. Tomoki's like, okay, I'll go play with myself. I'll go play with them for a little bit. He's like, hey, you're sure that nothing's wrong? She's like, yes. He like swims away. She's like, phew, that was close. Oh, wait, there's nobody around. Then later that night, took a long fucking time. She's just, again standing there. Like, what's the fun about being in the water? I'll never understand the way downers think. And she reflects back on Tomoki, like making sure that she's okay. She's like, oh, wait a minute, that downer, was he worried about me? It's like, no, that can't be right. We're enemies. I decided I should hurry up and she slips. And again, she's going to die because stupid reasons. So she like tries to splash with the water, but like her wings got wet. And so she's like falling beneath the ocean as like the waves crash against her. She says like, the Uranus Queen might be able to operate underwater, but we can't. No, at this rate. And she like thinks back about, I like that like, instead of thinking about like Tomoki, like any of the others would right now, she's thinking about Minos. That's kind of sweet.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Still like, looking like a dick.
Yeah. Even in the happy flashbacks, like he still looks like a pompous asshole.
Yeah, right.
She's like, master. And then they reenact that shot from like chapter 7 or whatever it was, where they save Sahara. This time they're saving Harpy.
Also, why the fuck did Sahara jump off the boat?
I hadn't considered that, but you're right. Why the fuck is she here?
Like, I understand moral support, but like if she let go, then they have 2 fucking.
Yeah, exactly. That's I had not even thought about that, but yes, you're right.
It makes for a good page, and I do like the visual that she's hanging like.
Yeah.
But that's fucking stupid of her.
Yeah, kind of. So anyways, they like rescue Harpy and pull her back up onto the boat, and her junior's crying on the shore. If Alpha and Beta hadn't used their radars to find you, then you'd be. And she like turns to them like, you saved me? Why? She like activates her like battle mode. Like, why would you help me? We're enemies, aren't we? If that's the case, then why? Why did you save me? Answer me. And then Ikaros looks over at like Tomoki messing around, and she's like, Master would never consider you his enemy. You see, Master is just that kind of person. Earth is just that kind of place.
Fucking gorgeous double page spreads, but man,
I will bring it up. Don't steal it from me.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to it at the end of the chapter. Anyway, so Harpy starts like crying because of how like nice it is, and then Sugino's phone rings. Turns out Mikiko left for a stupid reason. She wanted to like watch a TV show or something. And now since she's not here, they can't pay, and so the beach house owner like comes and like has like if you can't pay your bill, you'll just have to shut up. If she has a like commanding presence, she says like if you can't pay your bill,
she's pissed.
Yeah, you'll just have to work it off, right? That's the end of the chapter. Okay, so first of all, the single biggest continuity error in all of SNO, where the moon is suddenly behind Ikaros, behind Harpy, and then in between them. So the moon is in 3 different places in the span of 3 panels. And I do not understand how this possibly could have slipped under the radar. Like, you'd think by the 3rd time Sumo Nozuki was drawing the moon in 2 pages, but like, wait a minute, I've done this twice before, haven't I?
And it's double page spreads, too.
Yeah, I don't understand how he could have possibly made this mistake. It's weird.
No kidding.
Jonathan Johnson in chat. Are you into Nymph's hips or thighs? Fucking Mexican girl comes up like, why not both?
Hang on 1 sec. I'll be right there.
So yeah, good chapter. I quite like this. I really like I said, I think the Harpies both, like, despite being twins, they both have like unique dynamics with Tomoki. Like seeing Junior
Okay, I'm
participate in
back.
his shtick is really funny to me. Yeah, like I think the Harpies are like good additions to the cast, and like the comedy in this chapter is really good.
Definitely.
Even if the drama is rather blatantly recycled
Incredibly
from
forced.
Sahora's chapter, yeah. Like the fact that she stayed in the ocean until nightfall, like the fact that any of them would leave an angeloid in the water is fucking stupid.
Yep.
And then like, how did they get a boat and get out to her like seconds after she fell into the water when they were nowhere near prior? It's weird. Whatever.
It's fine. It's a good chapter.
Yeah.
It's a contrivance, but it doesn't ruin the chapter.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I mean the 2-page spread, if you ignore the stupid moon placement, like Icarus's line, like Master is just that kind of person. Earth is just that kind of place. I think it's a really good line. I really like that.
It really is. Yeah.
I
like
mean, these
touching.
pages are beautiful too, but like the line is great.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool. Before we start the next chapter, I just have to go on BRB really quick. I'll be back though.
Okay. Do I have any other thoughts on this chapter? Actually, I didn't read the notes for the last chapter. Someone check that too. Wait a bit. Oh, I really like how cute the Harpy's vulture wings look. Like, I do like that, like, you know, like the white on top and the black on the bottom. I think that looks really nice. So that's cool. I say in my notes, like, for being introduced at the 13th hour, at the very last possible second, the Harpies do integrate shockingly well into the comedy of the story. And it is kind of a shame they couldn't be, like, introduced earlier and, like, have more of this, because it was pretty good. Yeah. So, otherwise, just a pretty good comedy chapter. Like, I'm hesitant to say pretty good. A above average comedy chapter with like some okay dramatic bits in the end, brought up by just how gorgeous the art is at this point. Like, this is really like, I mean, the art is just like god tier. Like this page of Icarus and Harpy Senior, just it looks. I mean, if you ignore the moon, like it just looks so fucking good. Like all this looks beautiful. This is all great. So yeah, great couple chapters. I really like it.
Okay, I'm back now.
Hey, good timing.
Hey, sweet. So now chapter 64, right?
Yep.
Sweet. I really wanted to do this one too. All right. So we open up with a little recap of the previous chapter before we see Harpy Senior standing over Tomoki as the two of them are in the desert. I love that the first thing he says as he awakes is the beach part 2. Yay. But as he opens his eyes and looks around, he sees that instead they're in the desert. And he's even like, the beach? and he's like, wait, how did this happen? And so Harpy Senior flashback of them like working all around the beach house, like trying to pay their bills, all of the angeloids, like, and Sohara like cooking and serving the guests. Harpy Senior is complaining about it, but Harpy Junior is like, isn't this fun? Like, you'd never be able to do things like this in Synapse. Isn't it great? And Harpy Senior is like, just stop saying such stupid things. Have you already forgotten our master's orders? Right now, we're just waiting for the Uranus Queen to let her guard down. Anyway, one wrong move and the Uranus Queen will destroy us. How could this be fun? And then Harpy Jr., being as optimistic as ever, is like, this is just hypothetical, but why don't we just stay here on Earth with Alpha in the room? There's still a possibility for... And she cuts her off and says, no, it's impossible. And because Harpy Jr. doesn't want to see her sister die, she puts together a conniving plan. So reading the script that Minazuki had laid out, she decides the one way we can get an angeloid to stop trying to kill Tomoki is to have him fall in love with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so she's like, first, I've got to contrive some way for the two of them to be... So she goes over the nymph, who I love, instead of cleaning, is just fucking smashing the little thing against the window. Like, fucking, thank God she's not Tomoki's angeloid. She'd be shit. But She's like, "Hey, Beta, can I have a word with you?" And I like that Nymph, even though she's mature, is still very standoffish. She's like, "What the hell do you want?"
Right.
She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's just that Sis has decided she's sick of helping, so she's planning on flying off all by herself." So then fucking hacks.
I like the joke that in the first panel she gets like the anime like rage sign, and in the second one she gets a second anime rage sign,
and an arrow points it
yeah,
out.
exactly. I think that's funny.
Yeah, so she hacks Harpy Senior to prevent her from being able to fly. Meanwhile, I love that instead of like coming up with some contrivance or lie, she just brings over some fucking noodles to Astrea, and she's like, "You can eat these if you fucking beat them to death with this bat." To which Astrea responds, "Okay," and fucking hits them halfway across the goddamn earth.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
So they're out in the desert. Obviously, they're sweating a lot, complaining. She's like, "Oh, if Beta hadn't hacked me, I could have flown us out of here." So Tomoki, being very mature, stands up and puts his hands on his shoulders, and he's like, "Don't worry. Just leave it to me. When in the desert, water is the first priority." Got it memorized. Like he's fucking Axel from Kingdom Hearts now. But Harpy Senior's all like, "Oh, what's with this guy? He's so much more dependable and mature than I thought." And then she's like,
"I can't get that out of my head. It's all I remember."
She's all like, "Where are we gonna find water, though?" And then Tomoki's like, "What are you saying? We already have water right here. See?" And he fucking gets like a drop of her sweat with a fucking. I don't know where he got that. What do you call those things?
Like eyedroppers.
Yeah, he fucking got it and a jar from, but he just sucks up her sweat
Hammer
and drops
space.
it in the he drops it in the jar, and he's like, "See, this is also a valuable source of water, right?" So she fucking kicks him, and she's like, "Can't you be serious for a bit? We're actually gonna die." And Tomoki's like, "Oh, you don't gotta panic that much. Just look. There's a beautiful green oasis just out there." As he immediately starts to fucking hallucinate a mirage, and he sees this oasis filled with like beautiful Egyptian girls, and they're all like, "Don't you want to take a bath with us, Tomoki? Let's get those silly clothes off." I love that like they're shooting a water pistol and shit.
Yeah.
And she like fucking smacks him, and it's like it's obviously a mirage, but before she can even remind him about their concerns, he builds a fucking woman out of sand. And he just goes water, boobies. Oh wait, he fucking like crazy again like before, and he just fucking motorboats the sand.
Another great sentence.
Ends up spitting out all the fucking sand. I can just hear his anger.
Yeah.
And then the little motherly side of Harpy Senior comes out, and she's like rubbing his back and like, "Come on, calm down." So the two of them are stuck out there all day without finding any water. I love that Tomoki's like fucking already looking like a corpse. And she says, "This isn't good. He's starting to show symptoms of dehydration."
As he is literally like dead. Yeah, like that.
Let's bring
people
up
died when they got killed.
Yeah. Oh man. But she decides like she needs to find water for him to drink. As we get this beautiful panel of them, like under the beautiful stars, as she places his hand on his forehead. It's really pretty. And she like realizes that she's like concerned about him, and she's like, "He's not my master. Why would I worry about him?" And then she flashes back to the things that Ikaros and Harpy Jr. said, and then to Minos and like how different he and Tomoki are. And then we get this really great like parallel between them.
Juxtaposition.
Like, juxtaposition where Minos is like, "This is an order," while Tomoki's like, "It's fine just this once, right?" And we get this, oh god, this page still gets to me, where she gently puts her hand on his cheek, and on the verge of tears, she says, "Please don't treat me so kindly." Oh man, every time I get to this page, oh man, I'm crying a little.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Anyway, so Tomoki wakes up and he responds beautiful, as I would. But as he is a shonen protagonist, he was actually talking about the stars. And he points up at them and he's all like, "Isn't it beautiful?" And she's like, "Oh, he meant the stars." And he's like, "Have you heard the rumors? There are space stations up in that ocean of stars. There aren't any natural sources of water up in space, so to get around this, they designed special water purifiers that recycle the astronauts' urine for drinking purposes. And she goes, I see. Before she realizes that there is no purpose for this trivia, she says, why are you telling me this? As Tomoki stands beneath her with a cup of water, begging her just this once, please.
This is a gorgeous page feeling so stupid.
A gorgeous page as my boy Tomoki invents Gamer Girl P.
Oh my god, I just realized she's been wearing a band-aid over her belly button.
Yeah, I was gonna say she has a band-aid.
I didn't even notice that until a fucking full page spread.
It's such a good detail.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's like Chaos in the Shoes, where like once you notice it, you can go back to every page and see
Chaos in the Shoes, fucking Harpy in
the belly button. Yeah, I didn't even notice that until like literally just now. Like that's awesome. I like that.
It's a great detail. Yeah.
I mean, this page is fucking beautiful, though. It's funny how stupid it is.
Absolutely, yeah. But fucking. So he holds up the cup. We gotta zoom in on it. And of course, she's fucking disgusted, and she's like, "What kind of sick jokes are you trying to pull?" I like
the menace sign next to the cup, just like menacing cup.
I could just feel like the wrong. And he's all like, "What's wrong?" Or forgive me. He says, "What wrong?" Thank you, Full Rules. He goes, "I don't mind."
God, you're terrible. Why do we put up with you, Full Rules?
Yeah,
Roxy can just go die.
Yeah. He says, I'm fine with recycling it. Round and round the cycle goes as he like reaches to yank off her panties or bikini bottom, I suppose. He's like, it's the most, I would say this is like the most demented we've ever seen Tomoki. He looks like a goddamn corpse. He's like, recycle! Round and round and round it goes! Turning!
Where it stops, no one knows!
Twisting, swirling, spinning! And she begs for him to stop. Before she fucking says, I'll send you spinning, jackass, and literally punts him around the world, which I like. He goes spinning around the entire planet. And then Harpy Jr. comes from behind with this cute page, and she's like, how does it? How's love sprouted in your heart yet? Then she fucking hits her, and she goes flying next to Tomoki.
That's good.
And then now Nymph appears from behind, teleports behind her. Nothing personnel.
How
Harpy.
big is the fucking moon in SNO? Like, this is insanity.
It's the Majora's Mask moon.
Yeah, I was going to say. Like, it's on a collision course with Earth. Run!
And Harpy's all like, you're trying to attack me while in defense! Whereas Nymph instead says, it's a catastrophe! And she unhacks her. And they go back to the beach house and they see it's been completely fucking destroyed. Nymph can't clean, so Hara's cooking is putting people at fucking a liability as Ikaros is serving it to them. Astrea is dead, by the way. You can see she has a taste test beside her. So,
Astrea's died.
Astrea death counter moves up. Yep. I like that Sugita is attempting to be helpful by boarding the place up. But Nymph is like, we need you. So Harpy Sr., being the only competent, functional member of society there, cleans the entire place and cooks for them. And they're all like, wow, I guess she is.
This panel of her flipping the pancake or whatever is adorable as fuck.
Yeah, I love it. And then meanwhile, Tomoki and Harpy Jr. are back from space. And I love that her first reaction is just, sis, I'm back. But she ignores her and goes over to Tomoki. And holds a really cute page of her, even though Tomoki looks fucking disgusting. And she goes, hey, wake up. Look, I've got water. And she like slowly like makes him drink it. And then Ikaros comes from behind and simply says, it's fine now, which I really like. And Harpy Jr. tries to nonchalantly ignore it. Like, I don't know what you mean. Meanwhile, She just looks on at her sister, feeling content now that she sees like things will work out, and that's where the chapter ends.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of that one?
I really like it. This is probably like the best Harpy comedy chapter.
I would say so too. Yeah, I love this chapter to death. Very funny. Harpy Senior and Junior, like we said, like just merge with the cast super well.
Yeah,
and they both have like such different chemistry with Tomoki, but both and it's different chemistry than other characters, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's not
absolutely.
it's not just like, oh, she's the same as Sohara. It's like Harpy Jr. like is like Tomoki's friend basically, and it gets along with him, whereas Harpy Sr. acts like doting and motherly over him. It's really sweet. It's really cute, and I love them. I love them. This arc is so good. I'm trying my best not to just like splurge and fanboy again. But this arc.
We don't have long now before that happens, so you might as well just let it out.
Oh no! Just wait till we get to 66.
Of course. Do I have any notes? Nope.
It was just the cup.
Cool.
But yeah, now on 65.
65.
This one's your go.
Yep. So it is another festival chapter.
Well, it's a festival chapter.
Yes, and it's an actual festival this time, like a normal anime might have. So like there's no crazy Mikiko tournament. The chapters basically just everyone hanging out at a festival and playing with fireworks, which is again the like normal standard route you do, but somehow is only happening now like fucking 70 chapters into the manga. Anyways, so we get the old gag where Tomoki's like, the food's terrible again. He's like, shut up. And it's at this point where I see all the different characters like interacting in the background, where I'm wondering if Minazuki like ever regrets putting 20 billion different girls in SNO that he has to draw for like establishing shots in every chapter.
Plus background characters, like there's that kid
exactly.
in his too.
I like that he's holding a candy apple, and like Nymph's looking at it, distracted by it, and Aster's is using that as an opportunity to eat the cotton candy, which Mikiko is amused by. And meanwhile, Harpy Jr. and Nikos are playing little like yo-yos. Like this entire scene is very cute and like very well planned. It's just
I would love to see this animated.
Yeah, I just wonder like if Minazuki ever regrets his decision to make a manga with 20 billion different girls in it.
Well, if you look at the final arc, he certainly.
That's fair. Certainly solved that problem. Anyways, he says like a kid like he says like a yakisoba this year would happen to takoyaki stand. Why is it always disgusting? Like just shut up. A kid like you would never understand my refined palate. My palate, if it were a woman, then she'd be strong, confident, motherly, with short tussled hair. He looks over at Harpy Senior. As I lose my page. Looks over at Harpy Senior. She's like, she's here, my angel. It's like, Miss.
Well, I never thought that I would just grow up to be pop.
Yeah. This is Isaiah making a cameo in SNL. He's like, would you care for seconds? She's like, no. She like throws it in his face. It's like revolting. The noodles were all clubbed together. The sauce was turned everything into a damp mush. It didn't apply nearly enough heat to the toppings. And we're still all cake is a yakisoba topping. Are you kidding me? Disgusting. Kill yourself.
Which I fucking love.
Yeah.
Just kill yourself.
Yeah.
This is probably also the moment that made me a masochist.
Moving on from that as fast as possible. So Horace is like, hey, there's a fireworks festival today. That's the reason we came. She says, fireworks, what are those? And then Minazuki explains, fireworks, light the wick, and you're going to see a fiery explosion of metal and gunpowder. So essentially, and Tomoki says, so essentially they go whoosh, and just whoosh. Actually, some go pow, pow, pow as well. Pow, pow, pow? Anyway, the flames come out and spin around and around, and everybody's happy. It's like, wait a minute. I saw something like that on one of our recon assignments. And she flashes back to like them in Hawaii seeing like limbo dancers, I guess. Like, okay. And then she goes from that
cultural accuracy.
Yeah. She goes from that to noticing that the belly dancer had her like belly button out. And she's like, I just want to see my belly button. And yeah. Junior asks like, hey Delta, have you seen fireworks before? She goes, are they tasty? They're tasty, right? Moving it on Niv's shtick, which I will not stand for. Tomoki's like, here, try it out for yourself. She gives him a firework. I'll play these at the riverbank. And so this really cute page of everyone like hanging out with fireworks. Nymph and a yukata looks fucking great. I
like that Harpy Senior is off on her own too, while like Junior's in the middle of it. It like really shows like the difference.
Yeah, Junior integrates really well into the group, while Harpy Senior's still standoffish. Yeah. And then Tomoki
I would have
lights.
been. I was just gonna say I would have been super curious to pull off this change in personality. Because like they very clearly chose voice actors for the Harpies that were just supposed to be evil people.
Right.
Like they have really deep voices.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's fair. And that would have been interesting, seeing like their person, like the voice actors, like morph to fit the character evolutions.
Too bad I'll never see it.
Yep. Oh well. Hey, there's one line in the fucking DVD special.
Whatever.
So try to absorb as much character development from that one line as you possibly can. Anyways, Tomoki comes over to her and comes over to Senior and lights her firework for her. He's like, seeing fireworks are fun. They make you happy, right? She like stares at it like, happy, huh? Can someone like me really be happy? She like flashes back to Minos. He's like, how tiresome, you bore me. She thinks, Master, if I took this back to Master, would he feel a little happier?
What a fucking sweetheart.
I know, right?
I love her.
So Hora comes over and says, hey, Miss Harpy, could you light this one for me? And so she gets like a light off of her firework. And Sugata and Mikiko come over and do the same thing. I'm like, thank you, my thanks. And Harpy Senior's getting like over emotional from how like sweet this is. And Nymph, who is still standoffish, is like, fine, I guess there's no choice. I can probably forgive them now, right? And she looks over at Astria. And she's like trying to like, I think, rub the two things together to like make fire. I think that's her thought process right here.
Either way, she's absorbing them at the very least.
Yeah. So Nymph runs over to RPC and is like, hey, give me a light too. She gets a like light bulb. So she goes over and like sticks the firework in her and Delta's mouth and she eats it. She actually eats the firework and then it explodes in her mouth. This page of Astria dying is really funny, by the way.
One of my favorite things is just the please pay with fireworks safely in the box.
Yeah, this little like message off to the side. And Nymph laughing while like smacking Senior on the back is really cute.
Yeah.
I love that. And Ikaros looks at her own firework and like, and like sticks it in her mouth and starts like shooting it at Tomoki. He's like, hey, play those safely here, like this. He throws a firework into the middle of the girls, and somehow it generates enough force to get their Yukata, whatever.
It's Tomoki
fan
energy.
service
Don't
happens,
question
as is the manga's wont. Fan service happens. And then we get more continuity with Nymph, the only one who we do not see underwear for.
Yep.
And then, Sohora chases Tomoki, he runs away. I like Tomoki's expression as he runs away. Like, he's just like so resigned himself to this. Like, he's like even happy with this part of the fucking shtick.
Yeah, right?
And then he like runs headlong into Mikiko. And he's like, what do you have there, Prez? She's like, it's a lighter. She pulls out a fucking flamethrower.
This joke gets reused in Plunderer, by the way.
Oh, does it? Nice.
Yeah, so like there's this one scene where like this one character them out and he's like, we're gonna have a barbecue because he's just so fucking sick and tired of the other character. And so he brings them out into the middle of nowhere and they're like, where's the barbecue? And he just pulls out a fucking flamethrower. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Mikiko chasing them with the flamethrower. She's like, I wanted to have a festival this year. Then Sakurai-kun said we should do fireworks instead, so all of my preparations went to waste. So we would have had the mythical 8th Mikiko tournament had Tomoki not like interfered with shit.
Yeah, I really like that. Like, it's not just like, well, we decided things would be normal. It's like Mikiko had everything planned, and then they fucking canceled it.
Yes, I do like that. So there would have been a total of 8 Mikiko tournaments, which is an average of like 1 per 10 chapters, which is insanity.
Holy shit! Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah. Anyways, so Hora's like, this is bad, Tomoki. If we don't do something that's supposed to go up in flames, we have to make sure nothing else catches fire. And Harpy Jr. is like, okay. And like stuffs all the fireworks into Tomoki's pants. Tomoki's like stares at, looks at her. She like backs away. Dead leaves fall again, symbolizing like the fact that he's about to die. Everyone else backs away too. More dead leaves. And then bam!
I love that page of him like just fucking die because he's still expressionless.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. I do think Astria had a much better reaction to blowing up earlier.
Oh, definitely.
Which sort of spoils this one, but oh well. So Tomoki like just like bursts up into flame and like runs around. And everyone runs away from him, and they all like jump into the lake to avoid catching fire. And now everyone's wet, and they all like turn to each other and laugh. I do like how this like mirrors that scene from episode 3. Is it like Angeloid's First Order, where like they all like just start like laughing at each other because of like how fun it's been since Zikaros arrived.
Yeah.
Like that shot of Tomoki and like Sahara looking at each other and laughing like is the same shot, I think.
Too bad the next page has shit continuity.
So then they all laugh and like, sorry. We
Do you notice how Tomoki suddenly has clothes?
Oh yeah, you're right. As I don't notice that Tomoki naked is like one of his outfits to me, and so like clothes reappearing doesn't really make a difference.
But then they disappear again after. So this was fixed in the volume release. Suminazuki redrew this page.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a lot of...
What volume is this?
This is volume 16.
I want to go see. 1 second. That's interesting to me.
There was a lot of issues in Plunderer that got fixed in volume.
Okay, I'm back, and I got my like hard copy. Let's see. Flip. No, in my hard copy of the volume, he's still wearing clothes.
In yours, did you like buy yours from Japan?
Yeah.
That's weird. I swore he fixed it.
Nope. I can send you a picture if you want, but yeah, he's still wearing. He's wearing the thing in one panel and not in the other.
That's weird. Maybe I just mentally assumed he did because I've seen him fix other shit, but I thought he did.
Fair enough.
In Plunderer he's fixed multiple things. Like there were times where like Licht suddenly isn't wearing a mask even though he was supposed to, so he redrew the page. Or where someone's count was written wrong, so he redrew the page.
Interesting.
Yeah, so at least Suminazuki catches it these days.
Right, yeah. Anyways, so Senior's like, am I happy? No, not now. Master hasn't felt happiness in such a long time for me to enjoy myself. And a firework goes off. This page is fucking beautiful, by the way.
Beautiful page.
Minazuki's art is like god tier by this point. Like, this is so good.
And it still gets better.
Yeah, it does. But this is such a pretty firework. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how you draw that.
I was about to say the exact same thing. I almost wonder if it's like a Photoshop effect or something, or like a combination of like CGI elements. I can't imagine sitting down like I'm going to draw a firework and making something that pretty. That's just weird to me. So,
regardless of how he did it, it's really impressive.
Absolutely. Harpy like looks up at it. She's like, then they're all like happy. Okay, the fireworks festival's starting. So Horse like, it's beautiful, right? And Senior's like, beautiful. I am happy. And then, Tomoki's like, hey, have you made your decision yet? Like, a place to stay, remember? I asked if you wanted to stay at my place, right? She was like, no, and Junior's like, sis. Like, so like they have like an eye contact, like debate with each other. Like, please. And Senior says, okay, for now we'll be in your care.
Another really fucking pretty page.
So many pretty pages in this chapter. So yeah, Junior like tears up at this, and it's a really sweet moment. He's like, great, it's decided. Hey, Sakurai-kun, your president wants a snow cone. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Come on, let's all go get snow cones. And they all like rush off together. As
I love that the dialogue boxes like cover his junk, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that. Like I said, I'm just so used to Tomoki being naked, it does not like register at all. Yeah. Anyways, the Junior's like, hey, Alpha, I'm thirsty. Let's go get drinks for everyone, okay? She's like, okay. And like, your wings aren't wet? And she's like, yeah, they aren't wet. Like, cool, let's go. And they like blast off. Meanwhile, the other group go to get snow cones. And as they're flying, we get this like really beautiful page of like Harpy Jr., like, like your face like superimposed over the skies, like flying.
That's Harpy Senior's.
Is it? Okay. I can't.
You can tell because she's being pulled along.
That's fair. Anyways, so the two of them are flying, and they pass the drink vending machine, but Junior keeps flying, and so Igros catches back up with her, like, where are you going? It's like, don't worry, we're almost there. And they land in the middle of a field, It's like, this place, and it's a cherry blossom tree where they like first met and fought. And she's like, there aren't any drinks around here. Oblivious as ever. And Junior goes like, please look after my sister for me. As Icarus is like shocked as she pulls out Prometheus. And it's again, beautiful page. I don't know where Sumizuki gets the time to draw all this shit. Like, this is great.
Yeah, right? So many double page spreads in one chapter.
Yeah. So she pulls out Prometheus and like just aims it squarely at Icarus. And she's like, what are you? She like starts crying. And then she just like smiles and we see like Senior back with everyone else like laughing. And Icarus just asks, why? That's the end.
10 out of 10 chapter. Another 10 out of 10 chapter. 10 chapter. Oh, so everything's looking for the best it's looked in a while. Goddamn, so many emotions running high. Great character development for the Harpies. This chapter's perfect.
Yes, Isaiah is very happy. Unfortunately, my scans of this chapter are shit. So the art really doesn't it looks worse than it is in my like hard copy.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but this chapter is beautiful. Even regardless of the bad scans, you can still tell.
Definitely.
All together,
really damn good chapter.
It's like 60% Harpy character development, which I like. That's the part of it I like. The like attempts at comedy fall a bit flat, but I mean that's such a small part of the chapter that I don't honestly mind. Yeah, it's a pretty damn good chapter. And the cliffhanger ending is obviously really good.
Yeah. Now, speaking of cliffhanger, we are going to cheat slightly. We're reading the first chapter of Volume 17 in this stream because it would suck to leave it off right there, and the next chapter has to be fucking read and enjoyed. So
yeah,
we are reading.
It is insane
66.
to me that Minazuki actually chose to leave it here.
I mean,
he does cliffhangers a lot, but like he doesn't usually do like cliffhangers between volumes. I mean, I guess it's just like more like these were originally released like just one at a time, and so just when you go to put it together as a volume, I guess it just made more sense to split it up. It is just weird to me to have a cliffhanger like that.
I really like that Din also welcome Upward Flight. I'm glad you made it back.
Yeah.
Din in the chat commented that Tomoki was happy to take both the Harpies in, but oregano was too much.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I didn't want to say anything because whatever.
It's
not that big a deal.
Yeah, but it's just so sweet that you stop caring,
Yeah.
And also Giom says, perhaps did Minazuki go on hiatus between these chapters? No, I believe like some of the only hiatuses he ever took were at the end of the manga. Like he took one after chapter 73, I think, and then he went on a big 3-month hiatus in the last few volumes, or last few chapters. But there's a very good reason for that, as we shall see when we get to the final chapter.
Indeed.
But yes, we're cheating. We're breaking our rule. We're doing the start of volume 17 as well because we can't end here. We need it. We need it very bad. Okay, so let's go. Chapters 2. Let's go. 66. Let's go.
Yep.
Now. Yes.
I really want to go refill my water first, though.
Fine. Go. Hurry. Go.
So I'll be right back. But I'll leave it on this beautiful like splash page of the Harpies and swimsuits, and you can explain that thing you explained to me about Suminazuki like doing this a lot.
Oh yes. So if you as we repeatedly say that Minazuki is simultaneously a genius and a hack. So this photograph that Suminazuki did for this chapter, it's a very common trope that he does in almost all of his manga. Before something really sad happens, he will always start the chapter off with a photograph of the characters in happier times. The final chapter of My Messiah started with a photograph just like this. This chapter does the same thing. And even in Plunderer, on chapter 27, they do the exact same thing, almost verbatim, where you see a photograph of all of the characters together, reminiscing over the happy times. And and that one, it was even them at the beach too. Like at least with My Messiah, it was just them like chilling at their house. But with Plunderer, it's like the exact same thing. And it's not a big issue. It's just funny because like we praise Suminazuki so much, but he's he recycles things constantly.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, do you wanna bring up the plunderer? I explained it. Do you want to bring up the picture for like comparison?
Where's it at? You sent it to me on Facebook, right?
I will send it to you again. Yeah, if I have to.
Yeah, put it in the Discord.
Yeah, we'll do. 1 sec. I have to go past all of our slime talk first.
Yes, I've been watching Reincarnated as a Slime recently.
There you go. It is in your Discord.
Nice. I have to drag it to my desktop, then add like an image capture in OBS, because nothing can be simple on OBS. It's always got to be like, you got to do like 5 things to get one simple thing to happen, like a picture on screen. Right here. So yes, this is the swimsuit like photo thing for Judas, which apparently preludes disaster in that manga.
What do you mean, Judas?
Or Judas, Plunderer, whatever.
No, yeah, he also did it in My Messiah. You want me to grab?
I don't care that much, but yeah.
Fair, yeah, yeah. He's a wonderful artist, but also a hack.
Anyways, yeah, let's go. Last chapter.
Yes. Chapter 6. Who's the best Harpy? Real quick in the chat. Harpy Senior, no contest. I love Harpy Junior, but Harpy Senior better.
I don't have an opinion.
Daniel says Isaiah and Sire both lovely men. Thank you. Now you're about to see.
That's a blatant lie.
You're about to see this lovely man cry. So, chapter opens exactly where we left off. Harpy Jr. pointing her gun at Ikaros as she asks why is she doing something like this. Meanwhile, Big Dick Minos up in Synapse drinking a cup of wine, enjoying the show. Harpy Jr. once again. Huh?
Here's a question. Is it always daylight in Synapse? Because that's a thing that I've considered previously. Because it should be night on Earth right now, right? Like,
yeah.
Because fireworks, but like it's a bright sunny blue day in Minos' view. So like, is like.
What do you mean a bright sunny blue day? You don't. He's in a room.
You can see the sky past him though.
Where? He's just him sitting in a chair. He's in a. You can see the room.
What are you talking about?
Wait, what page are you? Oh, the color page.
Yeah, the color page.
Sorry, I had already moved on ahead. I guess it's just because Synapse is like, or I guess it also depends on the position of the Earth, right?
I mean, I think Synapse is like hovering over Surelmi permanently now.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah. So I considered this when I brought up that like rant in part 8 about like Ikaros fell at night in episode 1, and I was curious if like Synapse just eternally daytime, so that's technically consistent. But I decided not to give the movie the benefit of the doubt because it doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious now because Minazuki's doing the same thing.
I suppose it is. But anyway. So we move away from the beautiful color page again.
This is a really pretty color page.
Really pretty color page. Again, same stuff. Ikaros asking why. Minos watching, having a good old laugh, drinking some wine. Harpy Jr. says, "Please take care of Sis for me. You've noticed it too, right? She doesn't open up to people much, you know? But when she's with that master of yours, she might just find some happiness." And then Ikaros tries to plead, like, oh, man, that is a weird looking Ikaros in that panel.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice it. Yeah,
it's
very sketchy.
Yeah, she says she's like says, but then you too could. And then Harpy Jr. says that is impossible. We can't both go against master's orders. That's just not something I can allow. I am master's omnipotent angeloid. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that translation choice.
Yeah, I don't think it specifically said omnipotent in the Japanese, but whatever. Now fight me, Alpha. No, not Alpha. Come, Uranus Queen. As Ikaros like begs her to stop despite going into her Uranus Queen form. Great page of the Harpy.
Why does Ikaros go into version 1 Uranus Queen form though? Like when we've seen that she can power directly into version 2.
Because she doesn't. Do you really think she needs to against one Harpy?
She does later.
Well, that's when both the Harpies show up.
Still.
This is against one Harpy when she doesn't want. That's after she finds her resolve. Anyway, stop spoiling. So, as the sound of Prometheus is masked by the fireworks, but
I love
Harpies-
this like transition. Like I wrote about this in my notes, but like the idea of like, come, Uranus Queen, and he goes like, please stop, and we hear like that, and then like it cuts right into the firework boom instead of the Prometheus like hitting sound effect. Like I can see that, like I can imagine that in like the anime in my mind, and it's such a cool fucking transition.
Yeah,
like, I love it. That's like
a great
so cinematic. That's such
it's a great transition and a great way to like explain why everyone can't just hear fucking cannon shot.
Yeah, too.
But it also explains why Harpy Senior can, because obviously as someone who uses Prometheus, she can pick out the subtleties. Mm-hmm. So she realizes something is off, and she stands to leave. And Tomoki's like, "Where are you going?" And she simply smiles back at him and says, "I'm going to the toilet. You shouldn't make a girl say things like that, dummy." And he like flusters and he says, "Oh, my bad." We get this really, really beautiful pained smile from her. Like Minazuki is so fucking good at like doing expressions with like subtlety in it.
Yeah.
Same with Harpy.
There's so much conveyed in this look that I really like.
Yeah, you can like, oh, it's so good. But Tomoki feels something is up and looks back at her as she walks away. Meanwhile, we cut back to I really like the hard cut to black that he does in between.
Like the black line separating these two events. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Minazuki is just a very cinematic artist where he basically just fucking like makes the goddamn storyboards for the animators to work
pretty much.
Especially when you get to Plunderer. Like when I show you and I make you read it, you like how he has mastered the cinematic look. But anyway, they're still fighting. Ikaros is just blocking the shots with Aegis because it's not like she can be damaged at all. As she tells her, like, no matter how many times you fire, you won't hurt me. Your Prometheus can't break my Aegis. Shouldn't you know that already? And Harpy Jr. just says, "Shut up. It's not over till it's over." Even though it kind of already is. Eventually she just fires and runs out of ammo. And so as she...
Do we want to complain about that? That a fucking futuristic synapse gun takes ammo? Can you imagine if Ikaros had to stop in the middle of a battle and reload Hephaestus?
I mean, she only ever needs to fire Hephaestus once, because then people are dead.
Yeah. Can you imagine if she had to stop and reload Artemis?
Whatever.
Stupid.
Keep in mind, these guys are like different from the other.
Yeah. They're built by Minos, and so they're like shittier. Yeah.
Fuck off. So as I do like that her ammo just manifests. Though. Like it's not like something she carries. It like builds like the rest of Synapse tech. So, but in that split second she reloads, Ikaros opens Aegis, which I love. Like just the panel of it breaking apart.
The shot of it, like breaking away into pieces. That's really cool.
I love Synapse tech, and she charges at her. But before she can grab Harpy Jr., she gets shot. All it does is break her fucking shoulder plate, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until I call it out in the next page. But yeah, the fact that you can see like the shoulder plate come flying off with this. Like, hey, armor actually did something in an anime for once. That's never happened.
And as Ikaros looks onward.
Why didn't they just make it fly off with a card, though? She would have been dead.
We've got you, Uranus. But anyway, Harpy Senior joins the fight, and she says, "I told you, didn't I? Keep an eye on your ammo supply." And Harpy Jr. like pleads, like, "Why are you here?" And then Harpy Senior responds by saying, "Why would you do something this reckless by yourself?" And Harpy Jr. like says, "You were supposed to stay here with Sakurai Tomoki." And Harpy Senior says, "You are the one that wants that. As for me, even if I were to be destroyed right here, I'd want to be with my precious sister." Ikaros like cries and holds her injured shoulder. And then Harpy Senior says, like tells her, "You're the one who should retreat." And then Harpy Jr. says, "No." And she goes, "Are you deaf?" "I'm deaf." Oh God, I'm already fucking Freudian slip. She says, "Are you deaf? I'm telling you to go back. I'm telling you to go back and live peacefully with that downer."
Harpies die when they are killed.
Fuck off. Harpy says, "That's what I'm telling you to do. I even got you two some quality time in the desert to do." fucking gouges her eyes out again. I love her stupid chibi look.
Yes.
And,
so you were the one responsible for that.
So they stop and they smile and they share a laugh together and they realize, well, there's no choice. We'll do this together. But before they can even finish talking,
we'll break her bones together.
Yeah, but before she can even finish that thought, Ikuro says, "Oh, we'll fight all right." Yes, I'll fight you. I'll make you understand that you cannot win. This fucking line is so badass, by the way.
It is.
You shall attempt to destroy me, and I shall subdue both of you without destroying either one of you. Now come! She fucking goes into version 2 and holy fuck.
Oh, it's so cool. I love it.
She's so goddamn. I love her wings like reforming.
Yes.
Oh god, she looks so down. Fuck! So cool. And then Harpy Senior says, "Oh, your master's rubbing off on you, you kind-hearted bastard. However, Alpha, do you know what this is?" And we zoom in, and we see that their collars are also equipped with the same bomb.
Mm-hmm. I like the detail that it's like got the same like slots that Nymphs did, and like you can see like little pixels are almost out.
Yeah, I also love that this wasn't something like that Minos planned. Like you could even see his reaction. He's like, "Oh, that, huh?" And then she says, "It's the same type of bomb that Beta had on her." Now, how do you think this will play out? This bomb's output has been improved. It matches the strength of the Apollon used by the Melan Angels. As soon as we get inside your Aegis, it's over. And I love that Ikaros even says, like, Apollon won't do shit to me at this point.
Yeah, my armor can't be broken by it anymore. The bomb isn't going to hurt me at all. What are you doing?
Yeah. And the Harpies, as she like begs them, like asking, why? What is the point? This is meaningless. Why? She says, you wouldn't understand at all. As Minos like laughs, he's like, excellent, Gamma. Magnificent. Hurry and self-destruct. And she says, you would never understand. And he once again commands them to destroy themselves, just as Harpy Senior says, our master has to endure far more suffering than anyone else. As Minos stops. And he flusters and says, what? And you can see that's a fucking tear running down his face. I thought it was hard for me to tell on the first read because I thought it was sweat because you can't see his eyes, but it's very clearly a trail coming from his eyes. And she says, our master, the master of Synops, up until now, he has endured. Like the other angels, he wishes to dream, but he cannot allow himself that luxury. Ordinary people cannot understand. They cannot understand the terrible. He will be unable to. He will be unable to. You could never understand that. And she starts to fucking.
You're cutting out, by the way.
God damn it! At the worst possible time.
I know, right? Yeah, you fucking leave and rejoin.
All right, I'm back. How do I sound?
Cool. It's fine right now.
Okay, yeah. So she says, if only our master had just a little more happiness, it would be fine. So for the sake of our master's happiness, we will. We will.
I love this.
We will.
Yeah.
It is fucking the great like cut between her and Minos as he's like,
it's so good. It's so good.
Looking distraught for like the first time. And just as Ikaros is begging for her to stop, the others finally arrive on the scene. Pleading with
Does
her.
Tomoki have like fucking plot finding radar? This is the third goddamn time he has like managed to make his way to the middle of nowhere in the middle of a tense action scene.
Well, Nymph and Astrea were with them.
Still.
Even though they're running faster than them. Anyway, doesn't matter. It works for the dramatic tension.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Tomoki picked up on him. Yeah, don't do it. He says, stop.
You have so much to live for.
Stop it. But as they all beg them not to kill themselves, he says, you promised me. Oh, this page hurts so much. You promised me, didn't you? You two were going to stay at my house. We agreed, didn't we? Didn't we? You promised me, damn it! And the Harpies start to cry. And once again, she tells them to stop saying such kind things. Because it only makes the farewell that much sadder. And as Tomoki runs at them and cries for them to stop, Minos opens his mouth to ask them to stop as well, but by that point, it's already too late. They self-destruct, Ikaros contains it with an aegis and a beautiful 2-page spread. Tomoki reaches his hand out even though it's already too late. And we see the Harpies' last thoughts before they died. Harpy Jr. says, "Hey sis, if we weren't around, do you think Master might be a little sad?" To which Senior replies, "Don't be stupid. Our Master, sad? Well, there is one thing. Meals might become an issue for him. These days, he doesn't seem to like anything except for what I cook." We cut to Ikaros holding the remains of their damaged earpiece, breaking into tears. Tomoki looks on at her, turns around, walks over to Sukata and simply says, "Senpai." We don't see what else is exchanged, but Sukata simply looks up into the sky and points up at the black void where Synapse hides. And in the next page, we see Tomoki fly into a blind rage before cutting to Minos, left utterly alone. This is one of the greatest chapters of the entire series.
It's okay. It's like a 6 out of 10.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. This is literally like, this is single-handedly one of the greatest chapters in all of SnO Tashimono, and I won't take even any joking.
No, yeah, it's fucking great. I love it.
It's so good because, like, this entire arc, the best thing about it was how self-aware Tomoki was, how he was trying to just skip to the point and bring them along. We're all very much used to this at this point, where aside from chaos, everyone had been successfully integrated, and even her was just due to a misunderstanding. That was circumstances out of her control. This was a time where everything was lined up for a happy ending, and it was taken away because the 2 angeloids that were built by Minos were loyal to him to the very end because they were the only ones that could actually understand what he goes through and refuse to leave him. And that's fucking beautiful. This chapter is like, I'm struggling to like say anything. It's just perfect. The art is great. Really good.
I mean, yeah. As you said, this could have like, I said this when what was it? When Siren appeared? I said this before that like I felt the manga was falling into a rut of like new angeloid appears. They fight with Tomoki. You want to kill him for a bit, but eventually they're won over by his kindness, and yada yada yada. Seen it before. By this point in the manga, it was like really tiring, and I, honest to God, was like considering dropping it just because I was so tired. Like I love the manga, but like I was just so tired of the same fucking shit. And I'm like, God, like by the end of this manga's gonna be like 2 Love-Ru. It's gonna go on for 300 chapters. There'll be like 20 different angeloids by the end. Like it'll be insane.
You go through the whole Greek alphabet.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but yeah, the Harpies fucking die. They are dead. Like, gone. That was a shock. Like, that's insane. It's like, I've said this before, but like in episode 1, like, Tomoki accidentally kills the entire Earth, and like, it reminds me of like, one person's death is a tragedy, whereas like a massacre of people is like a statistic. But at the time I was like, like it's really like interesting for a harem manga to have like, like serious scenes like that, and so like even broach the topic. Or like during Hiyori's death, like despite like I thought that was a really interesting twist, sort of let down by the fact that it gets immediately undone the very next chapter. But here, characters actually die. Like the Harpies are dead. And they do not have angels sleeping in the synapse who are about to wake up. They are dead. And like that is just so. This manga could have like easily like. I've said this before. SnO Tashimono is easily the most popular thing Minazuki's ever made. Like, I think even Plunderer is like struggling to like even gain sort of like an ounce of like the popularity SnO had.
Yeah, so
it's
for
getting
comparison,
an anime which will help, but like
for comparison, before SnO Tashimono's anime even came out, so within 2 years of publication, Sorano Tashimono had sold over 1 million copies of the manga. Plunderer is at since the last volume came out, they were at 800,000 copies. Yeah. And it's been out for like twice as long as Sorano Tashimono was.
Yeah. So like this is easily the most popular thing Minazuki's ever done. And he very easily and honestly, despite the fact that I would have gotten sick of it, very understandably could have ridden this like gravy train into the sunset for at least another couple years, right? Like he's got at least like a decade more of SNO in him if he really wanted it. But like, so the fact that like this is the definitive end, this is like, you know, this is the end of like the second chapter. This is like the beginning of the end, cliche as that phrase is. So the fact that Minazuki had like the fucking cojones to kill two characters to like perfectly set up the end game of the manga, which is going to end. Like we are like 10 chapters away from the ending of the fucking manga, which is insanity. So the fact that he decided to like draw a firm line in the sand and end his manga in such a drastic and bold way too. Like I love this shit so much.
Mm-hmm. It's such a fucking like it's genuinely bold.
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
Such a like Minazuki and Sorano Tashimono has always been like subversive in various ways and like going the extra mile. But this is like
beyond anything we've seen before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the peak of what he's done where like he's recognized the slump that it could have fallen into and said, no, I'm not going to do that. This is my creation and this is how it's going to go. And it's fucking heart-wrenching and beautiful and powerful. And it leaves such an impact on you because the Harpies were really likable. Like we said, like you could easily picture like a dozen more chapters with them just fucking around because they fit the cast so well. So the fact that after just getting to know them and like them, we're immediately denied of that is like heartbreaking.
Powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like in the I've constantly been wanting to talk about like Minos' like slow character development over the course of the fucking manga, but I don't think we've ever like really addressed it. But like this is the first chapter where he gets like serious development. There's been like hints and pieces of it up before now, like how he like even though like Nymph has like betrayed him and like has insulted him, he still wants her back. This is the first like real like seeing Minos like. You know, like he's, I've said before, his motivation and backstory is pretty obvious. The manga's gone over it at this point. Like he's been alive for millions, if not billions of years. He is just so fucking bored. Like nothing's a challenge for him. You know, he snaps his fingers, he gets whatever he wants. Just nothing's entertaining anymore. And so like the whole reason he's like so interested in the goings on of the SNO universe is because seeing these like, you know, insanely powerful creations clash and, you know, seeing their like emotions and like the betrayals and the sadness and the happiness is interesting for him. He's like, oh, it's literally watching this, like the story unfold as we are reading the manga, gaining the same sort of enjoyment from it. And like, so to see him like total, like he is like so disassociated from everything at this point that even when like the Angelites he built are about to kill themselves for him, he just sees that as like a new twist, a new plot development to keep him entertained. And it's not until the Harpies like espouse the fact that they like totally get where he's coming from that like they like sympathize with him, like, and they're the only ones who do. Like we've seen the other angels in Synapse, like, you know, we saw in the previous chapter they were happy to just like leave him to his fate and like just go to sleep because fuck him. But the fact that the Harpies are like, despite him being such a fucking asshole, the fact that the Harpies are like sticking up for him even in this moment, even when he like threw them away and like as like demonstrate they perfectly understand where he's coming from and like what he wants and what he needs, and they're dying solely to like just add a tiny bit of happiness to his life. Like the fact they're willing to do that is great. And the fact that Minos is, for the first time in the entire manga, shaken by this. We have never seen Minos shaken by anything before, except maybe like chaos. And even then he just swatted her down and got bored again. The fact that he's like, you know, shaken by this and almost he is so close, like a second more and he would have gotten the full word out of his mouth and they would have stopped. But like, he is just a second too late saying stop. and they blow up, and like at the fact the end of the manga is just like him like lying in like a white throne room, just like crushingly alone, is such good fucking character development. And it turns this like one note, like snidely whiplash, mustache twirling villain trope on its head by giving him some actual fucking humanity. And I love that.
Yeah, dude. Like Minos, like we've always like said that he's entertaining and he's great. Like he's wonderful as just a like fucking dickhead protagonist. But the fact that we've like seen things from his perspective, and then it all starts to make sense too. Like even it doesn't justify his actions.
Oh yeah, no, he's a massive dick.
No, he's a total cunt. But when you like picture yourself like in that same position as him, alive for billions of years, unable to do something as simple as sleep and dream and like have a desire to work and gain things anymore, anyone would fucking go insane. Anyone would become detached. Literally all of Synapse is just like him. He even calls out Daedalus for like having the same selfish desires multiple times. And before that point, you're just like, oh, fuck you, Minos. But then you realize this is a broken society where these people like have nothing left to live for. And so they live vicariously through the people of Earth. And he's just such a fucking good character. Like it's ridiculous like how much Minazuki made me feel for him with a single chapter. And it only gets worse when you like see the shell of himself that he becomes in the next few volumes. It really hits home just how much the Harpies did to keep him functioning.
Yeah.
And it's, oh god, this manga is so fucking good.
It is so good. And just the shot of Tomoki at the end where he like wordlessly walks up to Sugata and like with no words between them, Sugata just like stops and then just points to the sky.
Oh, that's such a fucking good image. Yeah, he's just
it's
like
so good. It's like him pointing up to the blackness. But know like, it's there.
It's so fucking. It's so. And then Tomoki's like that's the angriest we've ever fucking seen. Tomoki.
Oh yeah, just absolutely.
This wordless blind rage, fucking juxtaposed against again. Minos being completely and utterly alone with no one there to comfort him, with no one to hear him crying. You can't even see his face, and that's what makes it even more heartbreaking. There's no one there for him. And it's just, and because Tomoki and the others have never seen that perspective, it's such a one-sided like antagonism against him. Where just as the Harpy said, none of them understand his suffering, and it's just heartbreaking.
Absolutely,
it's haunting. It's fucking powerful as shit. God, I wish we could just keep reading.
This is the point where it becomes difficult to put SNO down. Like
even though like with all the other streams I just read the volumes that we were required to, when I had to read for this stream I just wound up reading to the end of them just because I couldn't put it down.
This is really good shit.
Speaking of, so when it comes to like the final chapter, are we gonna have a separate stream just for that?
I don't know. I mean, because like We've got like we covered 16 and 17 this time, and then
we have 18 and 19, and then 20 is just the one chapter, plus the two extra. And granted, it's a really like long chapter, like it's worth enough to fill a single volume, but at the same time, it is just one volume, whereas we normally read two.
I don't know.
Would it be better?
Probably say that we'll have to like play that by ear. Like, I think if we take 3 or 4 hours reading 18 and 19, then we're going to have to stop.
True.
So it just depends. But if it takes shorter than that, then I'm fine. Like, honestly, at this point, your homework is just to read the last 10 chapters. When we cover them, it's probably up in flux, but
it's from here on, it's 67. You can read 66 again if you want, because this was 17. It was the first chapter of volume 17, even though we were just supposed to read 15, 16, just because we couldn't go without talking about this.
Oh yeah, and like I think so much good discussion would have been lost if we'd stopped and picked this up a week later.
Definitely, yeah. So next time we'll be reading 67 to 76. Well, that's easy to... Wait. Oh, wait, never mind. No, I'm wrong. Because we'll be doing volume 19 and volume 20 together. Never mind. I'm stupid. It's volume 17 and 18 that we'll be doing next stream.
It's weird. So there's only 10 chapters left, and so it's like I'm trying to think of how that we split up between 2 streams, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing next time. It's 67 to 73. My bad. 67 to 73, because that's 2 volumes.
Right. Yeah, that's fine with me. Cool.
Fucking awesome.
Last note I wanted to say is that do you remember that I called this shit?
You did, yeah. I remember back in the day I was reading your blog. That's when I found you.
Yes. So
and you called
back on my old blog, Ultimate Otaku, during like chapter like 64 or 65, I more in like wishful thinking than anything else. Because like I said, I was tired of the manga doing the like, standard, new Angeloid a week sort of gimmick. So I think more of the wishful thinking, I was like, this is a turning point in SNO. Like either something I think someone's about to die because, and I think I specifically say like someone is going to die and it's going to like rock Tomoki into action. And like that was because again, that was more wishful thinking on my part. It's like I wanted something interesting to happen. But it very easily could have gone the other way where it just continued like normal. But I just want to say that I fucking called like a chapter before the Harpies die that someone was about to die. And like the end of the manga was like rapidly approaching. And everyone else thought I was stupid. All 3 of the people who were reading my blog and left comments thought I was stupid. That's everyone else, right? All 3 of them thought I was stupid. And I was fucking right. I called this shit.
Yeah, I remember when I saw your post for 66, you were literally just like, I called it! I called it!
Yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah, so that's really good. Anyways.
I'm really excited for when we get to talk about chapter 60 solely because we can bring up that previous, Absolutely. What was the name of that group?
Right, BHHFC. We should probably say, by the way, that when you're reading 67, I believe it is, you should make sure that you're not reading BHHFC's scans of it because it's awful.
Yeah, either read Renzokuze scans or full rules.
The way you can tell, because I think most manga sites have BHHFCs because it came out first, which is bullshit. If you go to page 26 or 24, if you're reading like full rules or someone else's, then Tomoki on this page says like, what are we going to do with you? And if you're reading BHHFCs, the translation is, why are you sitting in here getting so autistic, huh? So that's the easy way to tell, is if on this page Tomoyo's line makes sense or not.
They replaced depressed with autistic.
Why are you sitting here getting so autistic, huh? And I made the joke back in the day that I can imagine Tommy Wiseau saying that in the room. Like, hi, Mark. Why are you sitting here getting so autistic, huh? It's fucking awful. I hate it. Anyways, so 67 specifically is often has the bad translations. Make sure you're not reading that.
Same thing happened to Plunderer for a chapter too. It was just one chapter.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, but it's okay. We'll get around that.
Nice. That's all I got.
That's all I got too. Perfect volume, perfect arc.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Harpy arc. There were some definite low points, mostly not involving them, which I think.
No, it was the volume before it. It was 15 that was the weak link, but 16. Yeah. Goddamn perfect.
Agreed. So yeah, we got some good shit to look forward to next time, guys. Got a lot of stuff's gonna happen. A lot of it's going to involve chaos. My God.
It's gonna be the freaking best. So yeah, remember 67 to 73, was it? 73? Let me double check. Read 67 to 73, yes.
Just read the rest of the manga, honestly.
You can do that too.
Yeah. Like just do it. You might if you're actually reading the manga, you might as fucking well just read the last 4 chapters.
That is true. You guys got a lot of really amazing things to do. The next streams are going to be something.
I really honestly envy like anyone who is like about to read the last bit of SNO for the first time. It reminds me of Dark Souls, where I wish I could erase my memory of the game and go back and like do it fresh. Just like re-experience like my first time with it. I really do wish I could go back and read SNO for the first time again. But anyone who's reading it for the first time has so much good shit to look forward to. I'm so jealous.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. But hey, that's why you get to enjoy reading Plunderer for the first time when I make you, when we're done with these streams.
Yay.
Yay.
Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you, Isaiah, once again for joining me. As always, you've been lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
And I will see you guys next time. Later.
Later.